prize. Something's wrong here. The issue isn't men versus women. It's the best interest of the children. The courts aren't a place for politics, but rather a place for protection. In my law office, we protect our clients' and their children's best interests. Isn't that the way it's supposed to be? I'm Mike Gallagher. Give me a call if you need help.
Local news, local life. Q13 Morning News, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. Join Dan Devone and Brent Ringenbaugh for highlights from the Seahawks and around the NFL. The Seahawks post-game show, immediately following the Seahawks game, today on Q13.
Today will be a brand new day of new beginnings for the Seattle Seahawks. A new stadium, a new division, and brand new expectations. Seahawks Stadium makes its regular season debut today. A perfect place for football. A place where the Seahawks hope to feed off the crowd and energy to win their first NFC West divisional game in 26 years. In 1976, the Seattle Seahawks joined the NFL as a member of the NFC West. They played their games in the Seattle Kingdome. Now, a quarter century later, they moved back from the AFC to the NFC and opened up this beautiful new stadium hosting their division rival, the Arizona Cardinals, here on Fox. Hello again, everyone. I'm Kurt Menefee, along with my partner, the former Chicago Bear, Tim Ryan. And Tim, you take a look, new stadium, new division again, and also a new quarterback for the Seahawk team.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer is the guy today. He didn't play last week. He suffered a knee injury early on in training camp in week 1, and they missed him last week. Remember, Trent Dilfer has won 15 starts in a row. I think he may be a little bit rusty today. One thing they'll do, Kurt, is force feed Sean Alexander. Last year, Sean was a 1,300-yard back. Last week against the Oakland Raiders, only 36 yards, so I expect him to have at least 20-25 carries today.
Just to try and loosen things up against that Arizona defense for Dilfer, and also the running game will be important for this Cardinal offense if they want to win today.
Yeah, just like Seattle. I think Arizona has got to run the football today. It all starts up front with their offensive line, 6'5", 323 pounds they average, anchored by Leonard Davis, who goes about 370. So they'll need to create some creases today, but remember, having said all that, it has been 28 games in a row since they've had a 100-yard rusher for the Cardinals.
Is that 370 before or after breakfast?
I think during.
Okay, exactly. Well, and matchup to keep your eye on today is the wide receiver David Boston for the Arizona Cardinals. Led the NFL in receiving yards last year. He's matched up against the former Pro Bowler Sean Springs, who was his roommate during their days together at Ohio State. And keep in mind, Tim, you can just use your Sprint PCS phone today if you want to take part in our Sprint virtual coach poll. Our question is, who is the best young quarterback in the NFL? All you have to do is log on to foxsports.com to answer, or use your Sprint PCS Vision to do it. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from the inaugural game during the regular season in this beautiful ballpark, Seahawks Stadium. It's up next.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Silver white winters that melt into spring. These are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. I'm home.
Wendy's 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets introduces Movie Mania.
Yay, nuggets! See ya!
Hey, how was your day?
Now, with every order of delicious all-white meat nuggets, you'll win one of 50 million prizes or offers, including millions of free movie rentals at Blockbuster.
Forget something?
Sauce.
Sauce. Hang on.
The 99-cent chicken nuggets and Movie Mania at Wendy's. It's better here.
Dad, the movie's starting.
It's Matt Damon and Lucy Lawless versus the Mac Man.
Keep on a warrior princess.
Hi.
Oh.
Who will win?
Simon Says go like...
Bernie Mac's season premiere at 8/7 Central, Fox, Wednesday.
Matt, good luck.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
That child dead to me.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
As we get ready for the opening kickoff here at Seahawks Stadium for the first time ever during the regular season, we send it down to the field and our Kevin McCabe, who had a chance to talk to the head coach, Mike Holmgren.
All right, I'm with Coach Mike Holmgren now. You've got the new stadium, the home opener. You're coming off a loss. You get your starting quarterback back. I imagine the emotions are high. What'd you tell your guys before this?
Well, there's a lot to be excited about, but we have to play a good football game. We have to play like I know we can play, eliminate the mistakes, be very disciplined, and play with a great deal of emotion.
Trent's okay?
Trent's okay.
All right, he gave me a thumbs up, and he sprinted during the openings. Let's go back upstairs, guys.
And I'm sure no one happier to see that than his head coach and probably the other guys on offense. They lost last week against the Oakland Raiders down in Oakland, and really the offense couldn't really get it going. 31-17 was the final, and they got a late touchdown in that one to make it that close. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals lost their opener against the Washington Redskins 31-23. So these two teams come in looking for their first victory of this young season. And the Seahawks have won the toss. Make it Maurice Morris back to take the kickoff from the 16-yard line, and Morris doesn't get far before he's dropped. A return of about 10 yards on the opening kickoff, and so Trent Dilfer will get his first snap of the 2002 season, starting from there, looking for his 16th consecutive win, and he's also won 19 of his last 20 going back to his days in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and you see the 15 consecutive wins there. That goes back to the Super Bowl season he had with the Baltimore Ravens, won 11 in a row, and 4 starts last year in Seattle for Trent Dilfer and 4 wins.
First down for the Seahawks. Dilfer to the air right away. Short pass. Darrell Jackson gets enough for the first down. Forced out of bounds right at the 41-yard line, a gain of 15 before Rob Fredrickson forced him out. Well, a revamped offensive line for the Seahawks. Their Pro Bowl left tackle Walter Jones still holding out without a contract. So Floyd Womack makes just his second start in the National Football League. Sean Alexander, we mentioned him at running back. Max Strong, the fullback. Corin Robinson and Darrell Jackson, the wide receivers. Atula Mealy is the tight end. And that's Alexander with his first carry of the game. Bounces off a couple of tacklers. Picks up 12. Oh, what a way to start for Sean Alexander in this running game for Seattle, which tries to get off the snide after a poor week last week. This week, the Arizona front four, Vanden Bosch, Marcus Bell, Davis, and also Fred Wakefield, Fredrickson, McKinnon, and Thompson, the linebackers. Barrett and Starks, the corners. Wilson, who is playing with an arm in a harness because of the dislocated shoulder, comes back and makes his first start of the season as Alexander gets nothing on that run. Rob Fredrickson brings him down in the backfield.
Well, and Seattle needs to run the football today. A very good run for the first down a couple of plays ago by Sean Alexander, and the key was Adrian Wilson, who's in the football game for the first time for the Cardinals. He's their starting safety. He was out last week, and he'll be wearing a shoulder harness. He's probably a little bit ahead of schedule with that shoulder. Came up and just did not wrap up Sean Alexander.
He was supposed to be out 6 weeks. He's back after 3. On second down, Dilfer to Atula Mealy, and he's upended nicely by David Barrett. Short pickup of 2 yards on the play.
Big thing to keep our eye on today, the pass rush for the Arizona Cardinals. They were last in the league last year with only 19 sacks. They have not put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. As a matter of fact, first thing that Dave McGinnis said last night when we met him, what did he ask me? Hey, T-Rock, can you still pass rush? Please. We need some help up front. That'll be something to keep our eye on.
3rd and long for the Seahawks. They've got to get it to the 36 for the first down. And that's to Max Strong, the fullback, and he runs strong. We're going to be just short of the first down by about a yard. Dwayne Starks stops him. And so the first decision for Mike Holmgren on a 4th and short.
The crowd wants him to go for it. 4th and 1 inside the 40-yard line.
And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing as Dilfer stays in there, and they bring in the extra tight ends.
Of course, the number 1 pick, Jeremy Stevens, number 86 there for the Seattle Seahawks, the number 1 pick out of Washington this year.
So 4th and a yard. Alexander hit in the backfield, tried to keep pushing, but I don't think he got there. Ronald McKinnon was the first guy to get him for the Arizona Cardinals, and their defense stops Seattle on 4th down.
And you see, it looks like the key right here on this play is the inside defensive tackles. Look at Russell Davis just blow it up. He gets right past Chris Gray and establishes that new line of scrimmage. You do that, you're going to win more than you lose in the running game. Very good play by the nose guard, Russell Davis, for the Cardinals. It's going to be close. They are.
Well, they decided to measure after both teams had switched. The Seahawks defense came out and
got a pretty good spot.
Arizona's offense came out. Yeah, now they're checking it out. And you can see they're that far short. So Arizona will take over on downs. A big stand by their defense against the Seahawks team here in the opening series of Week 2 on Fox.
No matter who you are or what you're into, isn't it nice to know you'll be accepted?
That's why the Redskins' biggest fans, the Hogettes, make sure to bring their Visa cards to the Forecast Boutique. Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Do I look fat in this dress? Yes.
How's it going back there?
He doesn't look too good.
Right or left?
Right. Look at me. Hold on, buddy. Whoa. Here we go.
Why can't we just have a cat?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37.
And so Trent Dilfer's offense unable to get the job done on 4th down against Arizona. Jake Plummer will take over for the Cardinals, their first possession of this ball game, starting at their own 37-yard line. Thomas Jones finding some room outside. Big gain by Jones into Seattle territory, finally forced out at the 46, a gain of 17. Jake Plummer looking to rebound from an inefficient week last week. Only 38% of his passes completed, but coming off a good year last season, 18 touchdowns, 14 picks. And that's the first time in his career that he had more TDs than interceptions.
Jake Plummer is a gamer. He's a guy that will press the edge of the envelope all day long. As you mentioned, only 38% last week against the Skins. Let some balls sail. He'll have to be better.
He's got 3 wide receivers here on 1st down. That's to Thomas Jones. He scoops up the middle, pickup of 7. This offensive line for the Arizona Cardinals, one of the biggest in the National Football League, but Leonard Davis, normally the right guard, is now playing at right tackle because of the injury to Anthony Clement. He should be out about 6 weeks. Steve Bush is in at fullback today because their 2 normal fullbacks are both injured. Joel Makovicka with a hamstring, and also Dennis McKinley down with a bad hamstring as well. They gave Jones 5 yards on that last play, so it's 2nd and 5. To the air, overthrown for Bush. Seahawk defense up front. They've got Cochran, Mitchell, Eaton, and King. Their linebacking crew banged up. As a matter of fact, Chad Brown, the only regular starter back there. Kazavinsky makes his 2nd NFL start. Marcus Bell, his 1st. Lucas and Springs, the 2 corners. The safeties are Tong and Robertson.
Seahawks lost their best player on defense, Anthony Simmons, linebacker, last week against Oakland. That's why Marcus Bell's getting the start today.
On 3rd down, they have to cross the 36. That in there, but dropped. Incomplete for David Boston. Sean Springs all over him on that one.
The key there is Sean Springs getting the jam on David Boston. David Boston, talking to him yesterday, did not expect a lot of matchups with Sean Springs. Sean comes up and bam, gets a good jam on a 247-pound guy and uses his body. David Boston should have came down with that football.
So our first part of the day, Scott Player kicking it to Bobby Ingram. Ingram makes the fair catch just shy of the 14-yard line, and so after the 28-yard punt, Seahawks will take over.
I love playing two-hand touch, eating way too much, watching my team win with the Twins. I love quarterbacks eating dirt, pom-poms and short skirts, fans who won't quit, and those Twins. And I love them too. Here's the football.
Try the NFL XL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. An extra large pizza at an extra small price. And a free 2-liter Pepsi. Only available this season on Sundays and Mondays, so call today. Only at Pizza Hut. You make the call. We'll deliver the deal.
You've been shopping for cellular.
Yeah, I don't know which way's up anymore.
I think I can help. You'll be fine now.
At Sprint stores, wireless becomes clear with helpful salespeople, the best selection of phones, and great deals. Right now, get 3,500 minutes for $34.99 a month and save up to $100 on select PCS phones. Sprint stores, wireless made clear.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Fox Tuesday.
Step away from the vehicle.
Isn't it too early for you to be hopped up?
See Eric and Donna's California reunion. And how Kelso kept busy with Jessica Simpson.
You don't love her. Well, I love parts of her.
That 70s show premieres at 8, 7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Each offense has had a shot at it here in Seattle. Each defense has kept it scoreless here early on in the first quarter. Seahawks beginning at their own 14-yard line. Play action. Dilfer going up top for Jackson. Makes the catch. Into Arizona territory as he beats Dwayne Starks for a reception of 48 yards.
What a terrific throw from Trent Dilfer to Darrell Jackson. Darrell's right here. He's just going to run on, take a takeoff route on Dwayne Starks down the sideline, and watch Trent just drop this right where it needs to be, right in stride. Boom. Starks was the big free agent they brought in here. Burned twice last week for touchdowns against the Skins. That's a big one there for Darrell Jackson.
Shaun Alexander forced out of bounds after a short 3-yard pickup. Yeah, Dwayne Starks, they expected big things out of him as their big free agent pickup from the Baltimore Ravens, but he came in. You mentioned the 2 touchdowns last week and said he was in a good position in both those, but he's a small player at 5'10" and has trouble with receivers of bigger stature.
Yeah, and Rod Gardner and some of those guys for the Redskins really hurt him last week, and he wants to be a leader on this defense, and he wants to lead by example, and he took last week as not a very good example for his teammates.
Off the play action again. Same thing. This time, Corey Robinson tipped up, incomplete. And they went against Starks one more time.
Good coverage by Starks there. You get a guy like Corey Robinson. He is so good. He's got such great leaping ability. You get him out there and you get a safety coming over late. You got to give him an opportunity. Good protection up front. See, Trent just steps up in the pocket and lets it fly. Starks knew it was there the whole way and went up and got a good hand in there to knock that ball loose.
Dilfer's first incompletion. He's 4 for his first 5. On 3rd down, they've got to cross the 27-yard line for the first. And that's out of the backfield to Shaun Alexander. Going to be out near that first down marker. Russell Davis wrapped him up, but let's see where they spot it.
Mike Holmgren loves to run screens. The Cardinals knew they were going to get a lot of screens coming in. Remember, McGinnis, longtime defensive coach for the Chicago Bears. Mike Holmgren was the coach of the Green Bay Packers. These two have faced each other many times, and he knows Mike loves to run the screen. Terrific job by Russell Davis again, pursuing down the line of scrimmage to get in on that tackle and bring up a critical 4th down for the Hawks.
Once again, 4th and 1. They went for it last time and were stopped. This time they'll send the field goal unit out with the ball on the 29-yard line, instead deciding to kick it.
Trent doesn't look real rusty. You mentioned only the one incompletion, but came to practice on Wednesday and didn't feel very good. Thursday felt a little bit better and basically gave himself an A for practice on Friday. Philly shook the rust off and throwing the football pretty good so far here today.
Ryan Lindell from 46 yards out. That was a weird-looking ball. It took off right, came back left, and hooked right in for the field goal. First points of the ball game. Seahawks score it and lead it 3-0.
Yes! Yes! What is it?
What is it? We found a seller, Kim & Sons.
We found a buyer. Where? On the web.
Where are they? On the web.
It's a huge order. It's half the cost.
It must be from overseas.
It must be from overseas. We're going to make a fortune. We're going to save a fortune. Thank you, RT. Thank you, Kim & Sons.
IBM can help small companies sell to big companies, wherever they are.
To Phoenix on just one tank. The fuel-efficient Golf TDI.
Taste buds, 2 kinds. The little yes man sitting at the tip of your tongue sipping new age mango flavored tap water, and the boys in the back of the class getting all the glory. So for them, there's new Red Fusion from Dr. Pepper. Red Fusion, who's your soda?
Introducing Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort shaving down or up. An anti-friction coating on the blades, plus a strip with more lubrication. So even against the grain, there's less irritation. Mach 3 Turbo, new from Gillette.
Fox Monday. Fox and National Geographic take you live where no one has gone in thousands of years. And when Egypt's oldest tomb is open, you'll be the first to see what's inside. Pyramids Live at 8/7 Central, Fox Monday.
Checking out the scores of the early games in the NFL. The Bears go into Atlanta and squeak one out. Carolina knocks off Detroit. Dallas looking for the upset against Tennessee. Tampa Bay shutting out Baltimore. Cleveland with Kelly Holcomb at quarterback continues. It just turned a final 27. Cleveland wins it. Miami goes into Indianapolis and makes some noise. Jacksonville wins on the road. New England all over the Jets 44-7, and New Orleans takes care of Green Bay. You think people believe in those Patriots right now?
They better. They better. That's my Super Bowl pick. They are a good football team. Belichick, with the game plan that he brings in defensively, is going to give everybody a tough time.
Marte Jenkins with the kickoff return. Gets around the other side, but didn't have any blockers as he's brought down right at the 22-yard line by Reggie Tongue. And there's a penalty flag down on the play as well. Tony Corrente, our referee.
Offside, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, re-kick. And
so it's going to be offsides against this Seattle team, which had 13 penalties last week in that loss against Oakland.
And that's what Mike Holmgren can't stand. And you see the offside guy right there. He's ahead of the ball, ahead of the line before the ball gets kicked by Lindell. And you mentioned the 13 penalties last week. Mike Holmgren is usually in the lower third of the league in terms of penalties, doing a good job playing it clean, and it's one thing he definitely is going to have cleaned up today.
Well, last season they averaged only 7 penalties a game. As a matter of fact, they had one game where they had 9 penalties, which was their high water mark. So 13 to start the season, certainly not what you're used to seeing out of Holmgren.
And you talked to him after the game last week, and they got pounded pretty good by the Oakland Raiders. And I think to a man, they were pretty surprised by that. They think they're a pretty good football team. They think they're very close to being a very good football team, and to go down there and get spanked in Network Associates Coliseum, where they usually don't play good, they said it was somewhat of an aberration. They're not that kind of football team.
We'll get a chance to find out how good they are since they switched to the NFC West this season. Of course, going against St. Louis twice a year and San Francisco twice a year, two teams with offenses that can put up points.
What did Sean Springs say about all the wide receivers in the NFC West? He said right when he heard about the realignment, started taking yoga. Better stretch those hammies out, baby.
Got to get something to get him working. So Ryan Lindell backed up 5 yards. We'll kick it off again. Jenkins this time from the 11. Just falls forward to the 30-yard line. 19 on the return.
Here's the key third down play by the defense, and it starts with Russell Davis up here sitting on the nose guard. Seattle's going to run a screen, and he gets a little rip move into the guard and then gets off and starts pursuing down the line of scrimmage, lays out. He's 315 pounds, folks, getting down the line of scrimmage to cut off Sean Alexander, give his team an opportunity to bend but don't break. You hate that cliche, but they did not give up the 7, just gave up the field goal.
And the Cardinal offense begins at the 30. Thomas Jones finding some running room. Jones picks up close to 10 yards before Chad Brown stopped him. It's going to be just shy of the first down marker. Give him 9.5.
He breaks through a tackle of Kazavinsky, who's going to be coming from the middle spot right there. He'll come up and try to fill this hole on the fullback on the guard. He just spins himself out of it. You got to keep that shoulder free. Kazavinsky hit the hole in the wrong angle of the guard, gave up that inside running lane for Thomas Jones.
Well, of course, Kazavinsky, and just coming in this season to start for Levon Kirkland, who's out. And there's Lamar King, who blocks that pass from Jake Plummer. Part of a retool front 7 for the Seahawk defense.
And Lamar King is a guy they really are looking to have a big year. He was a #1 pick 3 years ago out of a small school, Saginaw Valley State, and had a terrific preseason, and they were looking for him to really step up his game this year. Did not play very well last week against Oakland. 0 tackles, 0 pressures, 0 sacks, and does a good job there staying home and getting up and knocking that football down.
3rd and 1 for the Cardinals. Jones. He's caught in the backfield, but he keeps fighting. We'll see where they mark his forward progress.
Looks like it's going to be a first down. He kept those legs going. Kazavinsky again on the tackle. Not enough, though. Hit him right about the line of scrimmage and let Alexander scoot up in there for another half yard to pick up the first down.
Well, this is a game where Arizona thinks that they should be able to run the ball.
Everybody will root hog and or die inside, get down. Kaz gets up there and fills the hole and does a good job of it. Basically just gets run through by Thomas Jones there, who's actually gained about 8 pounds in the offseason, a stronger runner this year.
He's out right now. Marcel Shipp in for his first NFL carry. Shipp picks up about 2 yards on the play. Marcel Shipp, a guy in his 2nd year.
You wonder how Sean Alexander or how the running back Thomas Jones for Arizona put on all that weight. I can tell you, he worked out with David Boston in the offseason.
Well, David Boston used to work out with Michael Pittman, who was the running back before, so I guess he had to find a running back weightlifting buddy.
Do these guys do like the Friday afternoon pump club? Because I haven't seen anybody in this league in terms of a tailback and a wide receiver, David Boston, with some guns of arms that these guys have got.
On 2nd down, play action. Plummer escapes the pressure, goes deep for Boston. Double covered, incomplete. He had Sean Springs running with him, and the safety Marcus Robertson came over to make sure he didn't pull it in.
And he had Sean Springs beat. He had a step or 2 on him, and a good throw from Jake Plummer. I don't know if Robertson was able with his timing to knock this football down, or if it just went through David Boston's hands. There's the takeoff route. He's looking right now. Sean will turn and look. Here comes Marcus Robertson. Did he get a hand on that, or did David Boston just flat out drop it? Let's look from this angle.
Can't really tell from that one.
Hard to tell, but either blocked it with his hand or definitely blocked the vision of David Boston. Excellent throw from Plummer.
Arizona needs the Seattle 49-yard line for the first down. Plummer has the time. That ball complete to Marte Jenkins. Good enough for the first down and more. They needed the 49. He gets it all the way down to the 41-yard line. 17 on the play.
Just a simple square in for Marte Jenkins. He'll take off, and Lucas is on the coverage. Cut, plan in. Just settles down right in the zone there and Jake Plummer able to get him the football. That's about a 15-yard square in for the first down.
That's Plummer's first completion of the day. He had missed his first 4 before that. First down for Arizona. Thomas Jones back in at tailback. He gets the carry. Jones picks up 4 yards on the run, and you know, this is as strong and as confident as we've seen Thomas Jones maybe now in his 3rd year.
And he should be. He doesn't have Michael Pittman breathing down his neck anymore. And remember, over the last 2 years, he came in as a #1 pick out of Virginia. When he came in, he was given the starting job right away at tailback, and Michael Pittman beat him out his rookie year. Then going into his 2nd year last year, Michael Pittman beat him out again. Michael Pittman takes off and goes to Tampa. Now it's Thomas Jones' job for good, and I think he's playing more confident. I think it'll show this year.
2 tight ends in on 2nd down. Plummer to the air. Pulls it down and runs. Big hole as he gets it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Chad Brown hit him right there on the sideline. No flag coming, but 23 on the run by Jake.
Nobody open down the football field. Good coverage for the Seattle Seahawks. Chad Brown, fortunately, is fast enough still here in his 10th year that he can track Jake down, knock him out of bounds. Let's see, Jake's in bounds, still in bounds. Questionable late hit. He's trying to hold him up. That's not a late hit.
No flag was thrown,
no.
So the officials agree. And Dave McGinnis wanting the flag. Always got to protect that quarterback.
Dave McGinnis will try anything he can, believe me.
First down at the 14, Cardinals. Won't be able to get this one off as they take their timeout. First of the game with just over 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They trail 3-0.
How's it going back there?
He doesn't look too good.
Right or left?
Right. Look at me. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Here we go.
Why can't we just have a cat?
Introducing the Cheese Extreme Quesadilla. See mozzarella, pepper jack, cheddar, and nacho cheese sauce form a taste to die for. Don't miss the new Cheese Extreme Quesadilla.
So good.
Makes you want to be bad?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Let's play The Stranger.
Okay.
When someone gets home tonight, someone should be wearing a naughty French maid's outfit, a blonde wig, and holding a 6-pack of Bud Light.
Me like you, the stranger. Oh, you meant...
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Wow, hello, stranger.
Make it a Bud Light.
The perfect micro-assassin. It will take 2 extreme agents to stop it. Antonio Banderas, Agent X.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu, Agent Sever.
My turn.
Ballistic, X versus Sever. Rated R. Starts this Friday.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Sprint. Introducing PCS Vision. Clearly a whole new way to look at wireless. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. By Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Arizona with the first down at the 14. Tim, this is a position offensive loves to be in as a defender. How much does this bother you because of the options they have?
Yeah, they do have options, but you need to play them tough. You need to come up and press these guys and don't allow them to get it into the end zone. One thing, Arizona, they were down in this position a lot of times last week. Didn't finish, did not take any shots into the end zone offensively.
They hand this one off to Thomas Jones. Gets through the hole. Jones down to the 8-yard line. A pickup of 6. And this is something we have seen all afternoon so far. He gets through that first wave and keeps going. The secondary has to bring him down.
Yeah, Thomas Jones doing a terrific job of getting up in the hole, no dancing, and getting what he can out of the yards. I want to take a look at the breakdown on that 3rd down play that Jake was able to scramble out the right side. And here's the breakdown for Seattle. It's Lamar King right there. He's the left end. Watch him peek inside and lose contain right there. Now he's getting held by Leonard Davis, but you've got to keep that outside edge on Jake Plummer. You give up that contain, he'll make you pay all day.
And King now out of the game as Thomas Jones runs it in there inside the 5.
That's 2 plays. They haven't taken a shot into the end zone yet from the 14-yard line. The way they're running the football, I mean, you can't expect him to throw it up every time, but you got a guy like David Boston, number 89, you would expect, as big as he is, he outweighs guys out there by 40, 50 pounds. You throw a fade to him, and actually he's going out of the football game right now. That's unusual.
Oh, this is 3rd and 1 from just inside the 5-yard line, so we'll have a measurement here to make sure how far they have to go for the first down, but you got to assume they're looking to keep it on the ground the way that Jones has been running. He's got 6 carries for 44 yards already.
And if he runs it like he's been running already early in this game, as the first down is short by about 6 inches there, if he continues to run like he's run early on in this first quarter, it's going to be a long day for the Seattle Seahawks. They were not very good, Kurt, in the preseason at stopping the run. They were worse last week against the Oakland Raiders. 221 yards on the ground they gave up to the Raiders.
And so a big 3rd down, less than a yard to go. 3 tight ends in the game for Arizona. Jones tries to follow one of them, hit right at the 5-yard line. Isaiah Kazavinsky caught him right at the line of scrimmage.
What a fill by Kazavinsky and Marcus Robertson here. It's just big on big up front for the Cardinals, and see everybody try to come up and get some push, and Kazavinsky will just filter up there in the hole, take his own guy out, and then take Thomas Jones down. Tackle for the loss. Huge play for Kazavinsky. You'll see him here. Reads it all the way. Watch him take his own guy out. Boom! Chad Brown, and then gets in on the play on Thomas Jones. That's one thing they wanted Kazavinsky to be more physical today in this football game. He's looked good so far.
And so their defense forces a field goal attempt. But we've got a timeout here. Arizona having to use a timeout on a field goal attempt.
Clock was winding down.
And that's their second. That's their second used timeout here in the first quarter already.
Yeah, they had to take it. The play clock was winding down. Didn't want to delay a game, push 5 yards back, so they take it and give Gramatica an opportunity to settle down a little bit, try to punch it through and tie this thing up.
Well, let me ask you this, though. I mean, obviously you want to save your timeouts as much as possible, and with the ball on the 5-yard line, you know, right now it's a 23-yard attempt. You back them up 5 yards, it's 28. Shouldn't you expect your kicker to be able to make that and save the timeout?
Well, you would expect, that's for sure. I mean, especially when you got a guy like Bill Gramatica, who's a pretty good, darn good field goal kicker. But what are you going to say? It's not Mike Martz over there on the sidelines. It's Dave McGinnis.
Well, this is a Martz kind of timeout.
It is,
he doesn't mind burning them early if he has to.
Maybe McGinnis should challenge it.
So after the timeout, it will remain a 23-yard attempt for Bill Gramatica. Piece of cake. And so Arizona gets on the scoreboard to even things up 3-3 here in the opening regular season game at Seahawks Stadium.
There's a light in your soul. It says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what.
So you're signed up with 31 premium movie channels and NFL Sunday Ticket. Great.
Yes. That's your move? Yes. It's a big play, man. DirecTV. Come on, show me what you got. Whoa. We gotta work on this. That's right. That's right.
Yellow copy's yours.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 14 regular season games every Sunday. And it's not on cable. Now get our best programming package free for 4 months.
Hi, Joe. Hi, FedEx guy. Let's get to work.
So it can store up to 1,000 addresses. It lets you print labels and find a drop box. It can email you when the package has been delivered and more. FedEx.com is just like having your own FedEx guy.
Hey.
Yeah?
Kind of freaked me out, man.
your favorite team is, call 1-877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
No Grammatica's field goal from 23 yards out. Even the score at 3 apiece. Just over 3 minutes left to play in this opening period. And Thomas Jones, a big part of that last drive. 6 carries for 24 yards.
And the key here is the 12 plays. I think when you look at Arizona, they want to win the time of possession battle. They were beaten by the Skins by 10 minutes last week. And when you've got a team that's weak on defense like Arizona is, you want to drive it on offense and keep those guys on the bench as long as possible.
That's Maurice Morris. Well, they're a rookie second rounder out of Oregon. A nice return of 23 yards.
They like him a lot up here, and it really fits in well with this West Coast offense here in Seattle.
On next week, we've got a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with America's #1 pregame show. And then Aaron Brooks and the Saints try to get past Brian Urlacher and the Bears, or Sean Alexander and the Seahawks take on the Giants. Plus the Redskins and 49ers all coming up next week here on Fox. And a change in left tackle for the Seahawks. Matt Hill, the rookie, comes in to replace Porchop Womack. To the air right away, and that one's complete. Jeremy Stevens, their first-round pick, with his first NFL catch.
That's the rookie, 6'6", 265 pounds, from right here in Seattle. The University of Washington was the #1 pick and had some baggage coming in, some off-the-field stuff that Mike Holmgren says he usually passes on guys like that, just takes them off the board, makes them somebody else's problem. But he felt that he researched this guy enough, knew him enough that he would go ahead and take a chance on him, and he led him in catches in the preseason.
He picked up 11 yards on that one. Sean Alexander tripped up in the backfield. Nice job by Kyle Vanden Bosch to drop him for the loss.
Vanden Bosch just turning on the Jets. A guy out of Nebraska, he was the #1 pick and blew his knee out week 3, and you'll see him. He's going to line up right there at the right defensive end, and he'll get on his horse and get going here. Woo! Just takes off and is able to catch Alexander from behind.
And we should mention Matt Hill, their 5th-round rookie, is in the game at left tackle. Womack went out to have his wrist x-rayed, and of course Womack is in there because their Pro Bowler Walter Jones not here. So really playing with a 3rd-team left tackle in front of Trent Dilfer. On 2nd and 11. Corin Robinson slips a tackle. Makes a couple of moves, finally brought down at the 35 by Kwame Lassiter, but 24 yards on the play.
Wow, did you see that move he threw on Starks there? Terrific pocket for Trent Dilfer, and had some time, has a couple guys actually getting up in his face. Just lets it go right here to Corin Robinson. The best thing that Corin Robinson does is run after the catch. He'll make David Barrett miss there. Watch this move on Starks right here. Bip. Oh, that's an ankle breaker right there. Corin Robinson, big first down.
Robinson now in motion as they pitch it to Alexander. He's brought down by David Barrett. Short pickup of a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Well, this offense looks a lot more crisp than it did last week. Last week, Matt Hasselbeck in there, a little bit conservative. Trent Dilfer, they're able to take some chances.
And that's the biggest key for Trent Dilfer, I think, is tempo, to get in and out of the huddle quick, get everything working efficiently, and just make the play happen, execute. Terrific numbers, as you see, 7 of 8, 114 yards, and he's definitely shaken off the rust.
Play action. Out of the backfield to Alexander, and Alexander goes down. Ronald McKinnon with the tackle. There's a penalty marker on the play as well.
Remember, Trent Dilfer is about 2 weeks ahead of schedule with that right knee injury.
Defense, number 22, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first
This penalty going against Arizona. I did not see what the call was. The referee, Tony Corrente, had his back to us.
It's against Darrell Jackson here from Dwayne Starks. Just illegal. There it is. That's just illegal contact past the 5-yard rule, and puts Darrell Jackson on the ground. Probably afraid he was going to beat him again. Darrell Jackson has been doing that all morning so far here today.
Well, Starks got beaten on the big pass, and then he got kind of faked out there on the run after the catch by Corin Robinson. So not a good debut in his first 5 quarters with this Arizona Cardinal team.
And they want him to be that shutdown corner, the Mike McKenzie, the old Deion Sanders, the guys that can take half the field and basically shut it down. That hasn't been the case here.
Alexander on the pitch. Rob Fredrickson stops him right at the 21-yard line. 8 yards on the run.
You're not going to take him down with an arm tackle, and Wakefield trying to get down the line of scrimmage from the left defensive end there. actually in pretty decent position to get Sean Alexander down and just get him by the leg. Sean just runs through him and picks up some extra yards.
And Alexander goes out for a breather. He'll have a chance for a deep breath as we finish up the first quarter here in the opening game at Seahawks Stadium, all tied at 3.
I need a car. No, a convertible, a red one, with under 15,000 miles.
Autotrader.com. With 2 million new or used cars, you can find the one you really want. And with millions of shoppers, you can sell the one you already have. It's the ultimate automotive classified site. Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Sports' biggest month of the year starts October 1st on Fox.
The reviews are in, and the critics agree the show's a smash.
The People's Choice.
Thank you, New York!
2 SAG Awards.
What have I done to deserve this?
4 Emmys, including Best Comedy Series.
This is great.
And this year, 13 Emmy nominations.
Yes! Yes!
More than any other comedy.
If you see me acting like a big star, just keep me real.
Will and Grace, one award-winning show, 5 nights a week.
Coming Monday, September 23rd at 6 and 11.
What are you looking for? Dipstick. How long you been looking?
A while.
Not everyone knows cars, and that's okay, because they know about the pros at Jiffy Lube. Every 3,000 miles. Jiffy Lube, the well-oiled machine.
Did you find it?
Over 75 locations in Western Washington. Sports' biggest month of the year starts October 1st, only on Fox.
Sean Alexander on the sideline here, and you can see what happens. It's Russell Davis that comes over right there and gets his hand in under the mask of Sean Alexander, pokes him in the eye, and he's on the sideline getting that eye tended to. Maurice Morris, the rookie from Oregon, in the football game.
On second down at the 22, movement early.
And Morris is a guy that really fits well into this scheme here in Seattle. Of course, the West Coast offense.
False start. Offense, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
The offense that Mike Holmgren runs and has run for so well for so long is pretty much the same offense they ran down in Oregon under Mike Bellotti. So the transition has been pretty easy here for Maurice Morris.
And that false start going to back the Seahawks up 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And there's Sean Alexander behind all the people still getting worked on the sideline in that left eye. Morris with his first carry in the NFL. Kyle Vanden Bosch with another nice tackle. See a lot of firsts for this Seahawks offense. We saw Jeremy Stevens, his first catch. Maurice Morris with his first run. And of course, this is the first game here at Seahawks Stadium. And, you know, here's some facts. And the most important one, 47 beer stands, 63 restrooms.
That's the key stat right there. I mean, you got to have more restrooms than you have beer stands. I think that's always important when you're building a new stadium. And some other neat things that they've done here is obviously they've got the field turf, the same stuff that they've had up at the University of Washington, but the handicap seating I think is terrific here. The Kingdome had 70 handicap seats. Here at Seahawks Stadium, over 1,400.
Now the Seahawks used their first time out here in this first half. And so you look at all the new things you see here, and they changed their uniforms this season as well, going with a deeper, darker kind of blue, and that included changing the look of the helmets. They actually had an online poll and let the fans vote.
Well, there's the old helmet there, and you see the new one, and look at this. That is mean. This is the mean eye right here. This guy's in a bad mood. This Seahawk right here, he's just cruising around looking for fish. This guy right here, he's nasty.
What is a Seahawk?
No, it's like, I don't even think there's such thing as a Seahawk. I would think it's like an osprey or something, just a moniker for that. I don't know.
Empty backfield on third down. They've got to get it to the 19. Jeremy Stevens not going to get there as Rob Fredrickson wraps him up immediately after the catch, far short of the first down.
I don't like that call at all. I never do like the call. When you're in 3rd and 8, 3rd and long situation, and you put your tight end out in front of the zone and then expect him to break 3 or 4 tackles and pick up 6 yards, it's just not going to happen. Arizona was in good cover 2 zone there with 2 guys deep, and then the 4 linebackers covering the middle part of the field in the short zone. He just let Stevens catch it in front of him and came up and converged and made the tackle.
Lendell from 41 yards away already made one from 46 out. Gets it up. There's a penalty marker down on the play as this one goes through, but let's check out the flag.
Like David Barrett jumped. It's just a bonehead move there. You do that on 4th down.
And 4 yards to go. So this penalty, it could give
it does.
Seattle enough for the first down, and it does. Offsides called against Arizona.
Offside.
David Barrett's the corner, and you just don't do that.
This
And when you're down and you're rushing the edge,
in a first down.
It's defensive lineman on every play. But if you're a corner and you're rushing the edge on the field goal team, you've got to look inside and watch the football. You watch the movement of the football, and you'll see Barrett right there on the right end, and he's not looking at anything. He's just trying to anticipate. He gets off. Offsides, automatic first down for the Seattle Seahawks. And when you do that in the red zone, it'll kill you.
They got the 5 yards on the penalty, needed only 4 for the first down. So you're right. There's a situation where they were settling for the field goal, but now they've got it first down at the 18-yard line. Morris running through the hole as he's brought down at the 12-yard line. We send it out to Los Angeles for our first update of the day. Here's JB.
Hey, Kurt, is there a shocker developing in St. Louis? Take a look at Kerry Collins hooking up with the good-looking rookie from Miami, Jeremy Shockey. First touchdown strike of the season for him. 10-0 Giants. Hey, folks are whispering, Kellen Winslow type? Maybe. Let's throw it back to Kurt Menefee and Tim Ryan.
All right, JB, we're talking about first. How about that? Jeremy Shockey with his first NFL touchdown.
And how about if the Giants can take care of the Rams? It's been a while since New York's been able to handle St. Louis.
2nd and 4. Dilfer. Wide open as Morris gets through a couple of tackles, loses the football. And David Barrett scoops it up. Barrett returns the fumble, being brought down by Corin Robinson, but a big turnover for this Seahawk offense, which got second life after the penalty.
Well, is that how you make up for a bonehead mistake?
Yeah,
like David Barrett jumping off sides and giving them the opportunity to go for the score, and then he comes up with a big fumble recovery.
Lassiter with a hit.
Utility rocket? Escape pod? The all-new Toyota Matrix. That's something else.
You're looking at people getting answers to the most important questions they'll ever ask. Questions about their own health, their children's, their parents'. You're also looking at something that never existed before, a way to make truly informed decisions about everything from when to visit a doctor to what questions to ask when you get there. WebMD. 16 million people come to WebMD every month. They come to learn about a condition or a diagnosis, to check prescriptions for interactions, to chat with experts, or each other. We help them navigate our thousands of medically reviewed pages to find exactly what they need. Information that used to be scattered in 100 different locations, now all in one place. The place America comes for healthcare answers. A place called WebMD.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by WebMD, the place America comes for healthcare answers. By Toyota, get the feeling. By the Flame-Broiled Whopper from Burger King, America's favorite burger. At BK, you got it. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
David Barrett recovered that fumble by Maurice Morris, but Kwame Lassiter was the guy who really forced it with a helmet right on the football. And right now, there may be a challenge being discussed right now on the sideline.
You'll see Kwame Lassiter. He'll come up and put his helmet right on the football, right there. Knocks the football loose. The whole key, though, is that left knee from Maurice Morris down on the turf. Take another look at it here, and Morris will spin out of Barrett there, spin out of Fredrickson, Gets the hit right there from Kwame Lassiter. Looks like a fumble to me. So we can see that left knee. Let's see if that left knee's down when he gets hit.
No, the ball's out.
The ball is out. You see the ball there is already out before that knee's on the carpet.
And the referee, Tony Corrente, is in the replay booth taking a look at it. And so there has been a challenge, and you take a look at the Seahawk offense, obviously trying to retain the ball right now, but if you look at this replay, it looks like they're going to lose this challenge.
Yeah, they are, and they'll lose the timeout. And just as we talked about, Arizona needed to win time of possession and put some long drives on the football field. It's the exact same thing for the Seattle Seahawks. They need to establish that running game and put a good long drive together.
Take another look at the play. This is after Morris makes the catch with no trouble.
Catch, spins, the ball's out before that knee hits the ground. It's simultaneous in terms that knee is about an inch away from the carpet.
The ball had started coming out prior to the runner's elbow hitting the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands a fumble. Arizona's ball, first down. Seattle will be charged with
and
a
so
timeout.
the play stands as called. Arizona will retain possession after the fumble by Morris. The Seahawks lose a timeout. So now they're down to just one, as is Arizona. But more importantly for the Cardinals, they take over first down at the 27-yard line.
Arizona now, you're right in this football game where you want to be. 3-3. You've been able to establish your running game. Let's expect a few things to open up to David Boston here.
On first down. Quick pass out to Steve Bush, who's playing fullback in this game. We need another update from JB in LA.
Turnover there. Take a look at this one here. Kurt. Mike Martz has some disparaging remarks to make about Jason Sehorn last year. Apology accepted, but Sehorn taking a tip pass. He returns it 31 yards to pay dirt. That's the best way to deal with the apology. 17-0 Giants over the Rams. Kurt and Tim.
Well, the Giants went into St. Louis last year, lost that game by a point, but right now all over St. Louis, who has some trouble with their offense, which is supposed to be the most vaunted in the National Football League, as Thomas Jones runs good enough for the first down. But getting back to the St. Louis game, you look last week, they had trouble putting the ball in the end zone during the preseason. You could say it's preseason, but sometimes does that momentum carry over into the regular season?
I think so. I think when you look at how the preseason is played these days, a lot of veterans don't even play. And in St. Louis with Marshall Faulk, I don't think he played all preseason long. Gets an opportunity last week to do something. They didn't give him the football nearly enough. For the Rams to be successful in that passing game, they've got to run the football with Marshall Faulk. I think something that they're missing that's a big piece of the puzzle is the fullback, James Hodgins, who hasn't been in there to block for Marshall Faulk.
On first down, David Boston makes his first catch of the day. Stays in bounds as he slipped out of the tackle of Sean Springs and picked up 12 yards in the first.
His best buddy here, Sean Springs, is going to try to tackle him here. David didn't think he was going to be matched up. You see David right there. David didn't think he was going to be matched up too much with Sean today. Just a little stop route, turns it, and then Sean tries to pull him down. David's just too strong. I mean, this guy is 247 pounds as a receiver. He says he's probably not going to get much bigger. This is probably it for him, but he knows physically he is so much stronger and bigger than anybody that's going to guard him in this league.
Bush shifts back to the backfield to block for Thomas Jones. Jones out to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 4. Antonio Cochran on the tackle.
What'd you think of David Boston when we met with him yesterday?
Well, he's playing today, we should mention, with a swollen uvula.
If for those medical people out there with no medical terms, it's that little flapper in the back of your throat.
And he says it was big, and he has trouble breathing, actually. It kind of goes into his throat when he inhales sometimes. So, you know, that's something to watch as this game goes on. But you take a look at the guy. You know, is there a bigger wide receiver in the league? He looks like a tight end or maybe defensive end in your day.
Got such long arms.
Well, those long arms couldn't haul that pass in as he was wide open and let it slip through his fingertips.
They had that play set up pretty well. It's a bubble screen out to your wide receiver. Just dropped it, and as you see there, he got to the Pro Bowl. Last year, he was named to his first Pro Bowl, and he feels that he does his says he's one of the top 8 receivers in the National Football League. And I had to remind him yesterday that he's in the top 4. It's not the top 8. You're in the top 4, David. Believe me.
Maybe he's doing a Lou Holtz.
Yeah. I don't think you know what I think, too, about that uvula? I think he got it pierced. That's why it's swollen.
Everything else on his body is. Big third down. They need the 40. Plummer from the shotgun, feeling the pressure. Stays in the pocket and goes up top. Overthrown and not even close. Marte Jenkins, the intended receiver down there. Ken Lucas had him covered nicely, and so the Arizona Cardinals will be forced to punt.
You see Seattle will come with the blitz here and get the pocket to collapse a little bit there with Grattadoria, but decent time for Jake to throw the football. Problem is, no receiver downfield was open.
No player steps in. It's Bobby Ingram back to take the punt at the 9-yard line. Backs him up. He bounces over his head and into the end zone for the touchback.
I hate when punters do that. I hate it.
Well, the 46 yards will help his average, but a net of only 26 will hurt his team.
My dear Dr. Lecter, I have admired you for years. I have some things I'd love to show you. Investigator Graham interests me. You should have taught him not to meddle. I don't believe you'll tell him who I am. The important thing is what I am becoming. I am the dragon. Before me, you tremble.
Red Dragon, rated R, at theaters Friday, October 4th.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Hey, America, I'm the new 99-cent BK value menu. You guys like bacon cheeseburgers?
Sure do.
3 strips of bacon.
3?
Yeah, I'm looking good.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. You guys single?
2 of us are.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, you get off on the next floor.
The all-new BK Value Menu speaks for itself. Now, get 11 items for 99 cents every day. And have it your way in more ways.
Fox Wednesday. Live life in the fast lane.
Let's go for a ride.
Entertainment Weekly raves it's Miami Vice meets the Fast and the Furious with style and speed to spare. From the director of Charlie's Angels, Fast Lane, the series premiere at 9, 8 Central Fox Wednesday.
On the left, you see Cardinal outside linebacker Ray Thompson calling it a day. He's got a hip injury. We are told he will not be back in the game, so LeVar Fisher, number 52, their rookie second-round pick, will fill in for him. First down for Seattle. Mealy with the catch, and Fisher makes the tackle. Well, that's just another injury for this Arizona Cardinal team, a team that's not very deep. And they lost Anthony Clement. We mentioned he's going to be out for 6 weeks, the tackle. Both fullbacks are out. And Adrian Wilson is playing with a bad shoulder.
Yeah, he's playing today. Both of these guys are out. Now, McKinley is out for at least a month. Makovicka pulled his hamstring a little bit last week against the Washington Redskins. They did not want to risk him today because if he severely pulls that ham, they're going at least a month without a fullback, and they can't afford to do that. Roster moves, everything else comes into play when you start talking about that.
Penalty flag down before the ball was snapped.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
That's called on the right tackle, Jerry Wunsch. He came over just before the regular season started, having been released down in Tampa Bay. And they've also gotten their left tackle back, we should mention, starting this series, Pork Chop. I love that nickname. Floyd Womack.
Chop, yep, Pork Chop Womack.
But you see that big bandage on his left wrist.
I think he's got a pork chop hidden under there somewhere.
He could probably hide 2 in that thing. 2nd and 11. Dilfer going up top. Jackson can't make the catch. He went up, but Justin Lucas hit him, knocked him out of bounds.
Good throw there from Trent Dilfer, and Darrell Jackson, 70 catches last year. You see him right here. not usually a guy that drops the football. Starks lets him go in the zone. He'll go up and try to get it, and Kwame just comes over and lays a big hit, or Lucas rather, to come over and lay a big hit to knock that football loose.
Never got a chance to get it down. So a big third down. They have to get the ball across the 30-yard line for the first. 4 wide receivers in. Dilfer has the time, tried to rifle it in, and he gets the flag. Darrell Jackson, the intended receiver, Ronaldo Hill, may have hit him early.
Yep, Ronaldo Hill looked like he got there a little too fast on the back of Darrell Jackson. One way for Seattle to pick up a first down on third.
Pass interference, defense, number 41. Display results, automatic first down.
I'm sure he meant 21, Ronaldo Hill.
Yeah, they called it on Justin Lucas there, but I think you're right. I think it was Ronaldo Hill that gets there a little bit quick. Definitely got there a little bit quick, and Trent knew it. Trent knew it.
So Seattle with the first down now at the 26-yard line. Morris still in the ball game, spinning his way for a pickup of 2, maybe 3. Russell Davis pulls him down. We see Sean Alexander still out of this ball game. He hasn't been back there since being poked in the eye.
Yeah, he took a poke there from Russell Davis, and Trent Dilfer looking good. 10 of 12, 129 yards as you see, but got to do a better job of running the football. 3 yards a carry for Sean Alexander, and again, this is a guy, as he's on the sideline there, but they got 1,300 plus yards out of him from the tailback position last year. Really took a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
Quick pass by Dilfer for Robinson, and it's almost picked off by Rob Fredrickson, and Robinson wants a flag on David Barrett, who was all over him as he tried to pull it in.
And I think he may have a case here too. Corin Robinson. David Barrett all over his back. There's Corin there. He's just going to take off on a little quick slant. Decent play by David Barrett, but I got a second. I think he was there a little bit too early.
Looks like he may have been, but he got away with it. Third down. Seahawks need the 36. Bill for all kinds of time as he steps up and hits Robinson. Robinson tripped and fell down at the 44-yard line, and that's about the only thing that stopped him after he picked up 27.
Corin Robinson got him into the deep zone here. You see Corin here out at the split end. He'll take off. He'll get let go by David Barrett, and he'll just get to the soft spot of the zone, right behind those linebackers. Trent able to fire it in there, and the key was the good time up front by the offensive line. Arizona running all kinds of games, and offensive line did a good job of picking them up.
Morris again on first down. Sweep around the end, gets a couple of blocks. Going to be down near that first down marker once again as Thomas Burke finally stopped him.
Pulled everybody around that time, including Big Hutch. Steve Hutchinson, the left guard, got him out in front and basically forced Fred Wakefield to give himself up. That created the edge, and Maurice Morris was able to take off. You see Hutch here. He'll be coming from his guard position right there. Left guard. He'll take off and get out there and try to lead that thing. Wakefield comes up and takes him out. Creates a nice crease. Also a good push-out, kick-out block there by Gray.
Morris again on short yardage, gets the first down. Tripped up by LeVar Fisher, and we're seeing out of the Seahawk offense some good balance. Passing the ball on big plays and then running it.
And that's what Trent Dilfer talked about. And you see here 12 rushes, 15 passes, and that's about what Mike Holmgren wants. His offense is 60% pass, 40% run, and Trent talked about the balance of all those great teams in years past. Every one of them had a good running game going. 8th play of this drive.
First down at the 27. Play action. That's short to the tight end. Lutula Mealy. And Mealy going to be near another Seahawk first down. Ronald McKinnon on the tackle.
Trent just fires that one in, steps up in, and just zips it right into the zone again. This time into the short zone. Little play action. Big key for Trent Dilfer. Watch. He wants that lefty bent as he's releasing, says that gives him his accuracy. Good job there.
Morris with the run on first down. Pickup of 2 yards. McKinnon with another tackle. Morris is a young guy. We mentioned the second-round draft pick, but talking to the offensive coordinator, Gil Haskell, he likes this kid. Obviously, Alexander is the guy, but he thinks that Morris has a bright future.
He does, and again, it's the West Coast offense. He came from in Oregon, where he played his college ball. Very good in the passing game. Not only is he a terrific runner, but understands the passing game, how to work against zones and pull people away from the quarterback. He's just an all-around complete player.
Quick pass. That's out to Darrell Jackson. Makes a move. Spins inside the 5-yard line. Another Seattle first down at the 3.
Shook down Adrian Wilson there. Darrell's here. He's just going to run a hitch, which is basically taking 1-2 steps, get the football out, and then try to make somebody miss. Watch him make him miss, Starks. Then he'll make Wilson miss, pick up all he can. Darrell Jackson is a competitor. If there's one thing he does best, he says, it's compete.
First and goal from the 3-yard line. Max Strong, the fullback. Picks up about 1.5 yards on the play. Baron Tanner and Russell Davis stop him.
Definitely the type of drive that Mike Holmgren was looking for, mixing up the run, mixing up the pass, moving the chains and taking time off the clock. You see there 10 plays already, a 77-yard drive up near 6 minutes. So that's what Mike Holmgren wants to do offensively.
About 1.5 yards away on 2nd and goal. Morris, the tailback. They fake it to him. Dilfer under pressure, wide open in the back of the end zone, but he couldn't hit Stevens.
Well, he had to throw it too quick there. The play action, and like Rob Fredrickson coming from the outside, forcing Trent to get rid of the football. See, Rob Fredrickson will come out here from the outside. Trent's looking. Has to get rid of it too quick and gets it out in front of Tuilamili.
Led him by just that much.
Well, he had to throw it too soon. I mean, you give him another second for that play to develop, and he probably drops it right where it needs to be.
3rd and goal for the Seahawks. 3 tight ends in the game. Dilfer to the end zone. Caught by Tuilamili. Penalty flags on the play. But I believe this is going to be against Arizona. They jumped first. The question is, were they drawn offsides?
Offside. Defense, number 93. In the neutral zone at the snap. This penalty will be declined. Touchdown.
And they were not. Kyle Vanden Bosch call for the offsides. It doesn't matter as they complete the pass to Mealy for the touchdown.
There's Kyle Vanden Bosch right there, and he just, again, not watching the football, trying to get off on the snap count, and a heads-up play by Trent Dilfer. That's not a dead play. That's a free play by the offense. When he sees that flag fly, he says, heck with it, I'm just going to go with it, and he's able to find Mealy in the end zone for an easy 6.
Lindell gets the extra point, and the Seahawks get the first touchdown of the ball game, the first in the regular season in their new home, and take a lead 10-3.
Are you tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
Ready?
Need a better way to check out phones? At Best Buy, we've got the brands and plans you want, even the latest like Virgin Mobile and PCS Vision from Sprint. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Sunday is brought to you by Coors Light. It's up and it's good. Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. Rock on.
Well, here's the play here, and the key is Michael Young, the linebacker. He is lined up right there. That Seattle gets a couple of decent runs. He's going to bite hard on the play action. He'll lose Mealy. You see Mealy is leaking out right there already. Michael Young has no chance to catch up to him. Easy touch for Trent Dilfer.
Dilfer's first touchdown pass, obviously, of the season.
There's Michael Young right there. He'll bite on the play action. Boop. Uh-oh. Can't get back on time.
Mealy, who had a touchdown catch in that loss last week against the Raiders, makes one today to put him on top by a touchdown. Ryan Lindell with the kickoff. Marte Jenkins from the 2. Return of 31 yards, and so the Cardinals will begin at the 33-yard line, trailing Trent Dilfer and the Seahawks by 7.
Starting a small business takes a burning entrepreneurial spirit, a singular bold vision, the courage to fight an endless uphill battle. But that's not all you need. Oh no.
We need some furniture.
Not to mention the tools to manage your cash flow. That's why you need the Visa business card, because Jules Seltzer Furniture, like many other places, doesn't accept any card from American Express.
I love these chairs.
Visa Business, it's everywhere you want to be. Get started at visa.com.
Hey, let's go to the reservoir.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Mom, it's me, Josh. Listen, we got a flat, so I guess I'll have to stay at Dave's house tonight, okay?
Okay.
Really?
Sure. Josh, just one thing. Dad's BMW came with Goodyear run flats.
And they'll run even if they're flat. They will?
Mm-hmm. So I'll see you in 30 minutes, okay?
All right.
What?
Josh tried the flat tire thing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Prom night on the wings of Goodyear.
In a world where 2 was special and 3 was unheard of, one man dared to say,
4? You gotta be insane!
4 unique tastes push the Cheese Extreme Quesadilla into the 4th dimension of flavor. The heat is on when mozzarella, pepper jack, cheddar, and nacho cheese sauce form a taste to die for.
So good.
Makes you want to be bad?
Don't miss the new Cheese Extreme Quesadilla. For 4D flavor, think outside the bun.
Let's do this.
Looking for some action on Friday night?
Time for some thrilling heroics.
From the critically acclaimed creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Who's flying this thing?
Firefly.
Oh, right, that would be me.
The series premiere at 8/7 Central Fox Friday.
This October will be filled with spellbound days and mystical nights as sports' biggest month comes to Fox. Baseball's divisional series kick off with up to 125 hours of October's magical matchups. And then thrilling NFL showdowns, plus exciting baseball playoff action. No other network will broadcast more sports in the month of October or any single month this year. It's only on Fox. Arizona begins at the 33-yard line. Thomas Jones. Short 3-yard pickup. Anton Palapoy with a stop. This, of course, coming on the heels of that touchdown drive led by Dilfer and the Seahawks as they take the lead on a 13-play, 80-yard drive that ate up more than 6 minutes on the clock.
You get plays into double digits on your drive, you're doing what you want to do, and Trent masterfully managed that drive. And again, the balance, throwing and being able to run the football with Maurice Morris.
Bush goes in motion. Play action. David Boston doesn't get that one through his hands, incomplete. And I'll tell you what, this is about as inconsistent as we have seen Boston. You wonder if that swollen uvula is having any effect. He said it bothers him breathing.
Yeah, he said it did. He said actually, though, in practice it didn't bother him. Said he can still get up the field, and you'll see David there, and he's just going to run again the deep square in. Get Sean Springs turned around, actually, exactly what you want to do. Hit him right on the hands, just didn't come up with the football.
Brings up 3rd and 7. They've got to cross the 43 for the first. Plummer working from the shotgun. Rolling out. That's just a bad throw, incomplete to Freddie Jones. He was feeling the pressure, though, from Antonio Cochran. And
Marcus Bell as well coming up inside from his outside linebacker position on the blitz. thing about Marcus Bell is he's a guy that can run pretty good. He's in for Anthony Simmons today, who Seattle lost last week, and probably their best player on defense. You see Marcus Bell there. He's a guy that they feel probably not real physical, and they know he's not physical, but he's a guy they said can really get out and move and run.
That player with the high punt. Going to be short, though. Bobby Ingram runs into one of his own players, Willie Williams, on that, and he goes down. And so this ball will roll and be excellent for the Arizona Cardinals. Winds up being a 52-yard punt. The crowd wants a flag, but he just ran into his own guy on that.
Yeah, the flag, if anything, is probably going to come on Willie Williams, who looked like he was holding Kobe Reinhardt on that play.
There is no foul on the play for fair catch interference, as the Arizona player was blocked into the receiver while his opponent was actively blocking.
That's the right call from Tony Parente.
Or like thrown into the punt returner. You see here.
Oh, Ingram was coming up and they were going back.
Basically just gets pushed right in by the defender. Perfectly legal. See, Willie Williams has them all wrapped up there. Lucky they didn't get the penalty for holding.
So the ball at the 12-yard line. Sean Alexander now back in at running back. He gets the handoff.
Is this the in vogue play or what? We've seen 6 of these fake reverse dives up the middle. We saw about 6 of them last week.
Of course, the NFL added a 32nd team during the offseason, which meant realignment. Now 8 4-team divisions, and the Cardinals moved from the NFC East. The Seahawks moved from the AFC West to join St. Louis and San Francisco in the newly reformed NFC West. And we mentioned at the beginning.
Who got the short end of the stick on that?
I think Arizona
I do too.
Out of all the teams, you look in the NFC East, they were competitive last year, but having to face tough teams in San Francisco and St. Louis this season, twice a year, as they go the end around, and Corn Robinson going to be brought down in the open field. Nice job by David Barrett stopping him from getting the first down. Well, we saw them fake it a couple of times. That time they went with it.
Well, that's why they do it. You fake it up inside and you run the dive, you run the dive, you run the dive. You see that backside pursuit, and then you look for the guy coming around. Nice gain by Corn Robinson.
2-minute warning, 10-3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Gateway. Check out the new incredibly fast all-in-one Gateway Profile PC, only from Gateway.
Danny sets me up on this blind date with this girl, Angela, and I'm thinking, she's a little shy. She gets up and starts shaking it right in front of the table. So she says, take me to Vegas. What? We're having the time of our lives. It's kind of getting hot, kind of getting dirty. She's got this sexy tattoo with a knife piercing a heart.
Wait a minute. Angela?
Thank you. Yeah.
That's my sister.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
That's not funny.
The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety subjected full-size pickups to their crash test, a test performed at even higher speeds than those conducted by the government. In the end, Tundra earned the highest overall safety rating for full-size pickups. Toyota Tundra. When we say better from the ground up, we mean a lot better.
Don't forget, coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, and Howie will have scores and highlights from around the league. And the Fox Sports Ticker will keep you updated with up-to-the-second stats. That's all coming up 2 minutes away on the game clock on the Visa halftime report. Running back Sean Alexander back in the game wearing a visor. Now to protect that eye that was poked. 3rd and 2. He dances around in the backfield, won't get the first down. Justin Lucas with the stop, and the Seahawks will be forced to punt, giving Jake Plummer and the Arizona Cardinals another shot before halftime.
Yeah, the latest on Sean Alexander. He spent an extensive time on the sidelines where trainers and doctors checked his eyes. They did every kind of eye exam imaginable. After getting poked in the eye, they went ahead and put the visor on him. He went back in there for that series. We'll see how it works in the second half. He's now Darth Alexander, I guess, the Darth Vader look.
All right, that was Kevin McCabe down on the sideline.
And here's where Sean got it. He'll take it right here in the eye by Russell Davis. There, as you see it, did not have a shield on his helmet. See him grabbing for the eye right there. Got it pretty good in his left eye. That's why he was out of the football game. They do every examination possible, and then it took him a few minutes to get that shield on as well. And that shield is something that not anybody can wear in this league. You've got to have an injury or something with the eye.
Or medical clearance beforehand.
Medical clearance before you wear that shield.
This will be the first punt of the day for the Seahawks. Jeff Fiegels, the one-time Arizona Cardinal.
Important stop there for the Arizona Cardinals on defense. Going to get themselves a short field here after the return.
Punts it off to Arnold Jackson. Don't look for a fair catch. He's the only player in the league who didn't fair catch a punt all last year. Penalty markers on the play. He lost the football. Arizona fell on it. Let's see what the flag's about, as Fisher maybe saved a turnover.
Look for where he called it. He's going to call it on Heath Evans. I'm not sure, but like he had some type of illegal use of the hands or block in the back. Either way, if it is on him, I thought it was kind of a cheesy call.
Discussion going on by Corrente and the crew as we take a look at some of the scores in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. Those are our instant scores. Anytime something happens around the league, and there are a couple of games that are going on late this Sunday afternoon with us, you will see it updated right there in the right corner of your screen. That's Kyle Vanden Bosch going out.
That's not good.
No.
During the flight of the kick, holding, receiving team number 96. This penalty is declined. During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back above the waist, receiving team number 27. This penalty will be enforced 10 yards. First down.
And so the original infraction called against Dennis Johnson, and the Arizona Cardinals have no number 27, so you lost me on that one.
Yeah, and Dennis Johnson.
But whatever it is, it's not good for Arizona.
No, it's not. And Dennis Johnson's probably going to have to play more. He's a rookie defensive lineman, and with Kyle Vanden Bosch going out, he is definitely their best pass rusher up front. They have lacked pass rush really throughout the preseason and on into the first game last week, so not a good sign when your best pass rushers got a shoe off headed for the locker room.
Starting at their own 21, 1:30 left, and only one timeout for the Arizona Cardinals. Short pass to Thomas Jones. Out to the 31-yard line. Going to be close to the first down as they go into the hurry-up mode.
As we watch this two-minute offense here, let's reminisce a little bit about Johnny Unitas, who we just lost, who probably pioneered the 2-minute drill, as Jake Plummer's taking it right now.
Ball batted down, incomplete.
Brandon Mitchell batted that one down.
Yeah, Brandon Mitchell just got a hand up there, popped it right down. He was a big free agent pickup for them, coming over from the New England Patriots.
And there he is there at the right defensive tackle. Just taking Pete Kendall and just popping the hands up. Heads up play there by Brandon Mitchell. Guy had 11 starts last year for the New England Patriots, 2 of the 3 postseason games. He's got a Super Bowl ring on his finger.
And he worked with defensive coordinator of Seattle now, Steve Sidwell, when he was with the Patriots.
Yep.
On 2nd and 10, Plummer. Up top, Boston makes the catch on that one.
That's all strength right there, Kurt.
Looks like, though, he's going to be just short of a first down.
Did get it out of bounds. Terrific coverage by Sean Springs, who's just impressed coverage against David Boston. Both of them right there. David a little juke move inside, then hits it out. Sean's right there. David just goes up with the strong hands and pulls it down.
We've got a penalty flag down on the field as well, on the opposite side from where this ball was caught.
Holding defense number 21. 5-yard penalty will be assessed in the previous spot. Automatic first down.
And Lucas being called for the penalty.
See it here. You'll see Lucas on the coverage. Marte Jenkins gets his hand on him. Still got his hands on him. Past the 5 yards. Still has his hands on him. You can only put your hands on him and grab him there and chuck him in there in the 5-yard area. Once that receiver goes past 5, you've got to let him go.
So Arizona now with the ball on the 37-yard line. 52 seconds left and no timeouts. Bummer from the shotgun. Good lost the football as he was brought down. Mike Grudadoria recovered it, but Chad Brown got in there, almost got the sack, but forced the fumble. And now the clock keeps going.
Well, that count as a sack from the NFL, because anytime you get the quarterback and force a fumble, it counts as a sack as well. There's Chad Brown at the right end, around L.J. Shelton. There it is, sack, forced fumble. And Grudadoria able to get on it, and Chad Brown is their best pass rusher here in Seattle. They line him up in the nickel at the right defensive end, and something neat, he's going against L.J. Shelton. They both have the same age, and he said they're going for bragging rights today.
From the shotgun again. Plummer has the time, forced to roll out. Penalty flag down in the backfield.
They're going to get a hold on Leonard Davis here. There is no question about it. We saw earlier where Lamar King got trapped inside on contain. He gets trapped inside here again, but Leonard Davis just surrounding him with those big old arms, not letting him get out.
Well, this is not the tape you would put out to show how to run the 2-minute offense, is it?
No, no.
Offense number 75. This penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Talk about Johnny Unitas and how well he ran the 2-minute offense. They're not doing it here today with Arizona. What'd you think of that with Peyton Manning and the high cleats, by the way?
You know, the NFL does a lot of things right, I think more than any other sports league, but for them not to allow Peyton Manning to wear high tops in honor of Johnny Unitas and threaten him with a $25,000 fine if he did, I think is flat out wrong. Arizona needs the 47 for the first down. They hand it to Thomas Jones. We're just going to concede and run out the clock here as the time winds down. We're at 15 seconds and a 4th down coming up. Seattle uses its final timeout to stop the clock and force them to punt. Well, of course, Johnny Unitas passed away earlier this week, and a moment of silence was held at all NFL stadiums before today's game in honor of the guy who really made this league what it is today. That 1958 championship game at Yankee Stadium against the New York Giants, went to overtime, seen on national TV, and really got everyone in the mode that we are in now of watching football every single Sunday. And of course, you mentioned the master of the 2-minute drill. He won 3 championships, and you talked to every quarterback, Mike Holmgren included, who played quarterback in college at USC. You know, talked about he's a guy that they kind of patted themselves on.
Well, how about the 47 straight games with a touchdown pass? Remember, they only played 12 games back in the day. That spans 5 years in a row that Johnny Unitas, every game, completed a touchdown pass.
Bobby Ingram makes the catch on this one. Brought down by Justin Lucas. 6 seconds left here in the first half.
If Peyton wasn't going to get to wear the high tops, he should have gotten that signature flat top haircut that Johnny U used to wear all the time.
I don't know if Peyton has enough hair left for that nowadays.
You may be right.
Don't forget, coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, and Howie with all the scores and highlights, and the Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. Speaking of the halftime report, starting next week, I heard on the pregame show today, Jimmy Johnson will be back as a permanent member of the Fox studio crew for the rest of this season. John Elway doing a fine job today on the pregame show, but it's one and done for John as Jimmy Johnson comes back.
I think he just likes looking at Jillian Barbieri.
That'll be the final play of the first half. And the Seahawks score the only touchdown of the half so far. Trent Dilfer with a short pass to the tight end Atula Mealy. Made it 10-3. It was the only score of the second quarter after first quarter that was all even at 3. But they go into the locker rooms with the Seahawks leading the Arizona Cardinals 10-3 here at the break in the first ever regular season game at Seahawks Stadium. We'll be back with the second half after a quick update from the guys in Los Angeles right after this.
Fox Tuesday. See Eric and Donna's California reunion. And how Kelso kept busy this summer with Jessica Simpson.
What can 2 virgins do to kill an afternoon?
There is something, but it's wet and dirty.
Sold! That 70s Show season premiere, followed by the premiere of Grounded. Plus, catch America's biggest stars like you've never seen them before.
Check. You would. Overactor. Jazz up.
World's funniest movie outtakes. It all starts at 8/7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Okay, Josh, is going to college. Well, Jane wasn't so sure until we did her free Key Solutions financial assessment. Josh. We're thinking maybe out of state. We've got it all covered. Soon, Josh will be on his way. Jane's really excited. 4 years of peace and quiet, I guess. The solution is Key.
Call today for your free financial assessment.
Need a better way to check out phones? At Best Buy, we've got the brands and plans you want, even the latest like Virgin Mobile and PCS Vision from Sprint. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
Napa Auto Parts is a proud sponsor of the Seahawks. Show your team pride by stopping by your participating Napa Auto Parts store for this limited edition full-size football, free with every $20 purchase. Napa, better people, better prices, better products.
Around here, there's no pie chart to measure progress.
The muscles are sore.
The muscles are sore from the job, not the gym.
The resumes are built one story at a time.
And the company car actually works for a living.
The Toyota Tundra, better from the ground up.
1, 2, 3, After the Seahawks are done playing, Q13 is just warming up. Join Dan Devone and Brent Ringenbaugh as they recap the latest Seahawks matchup and bring you highlights from around the NFL. The Seahawks post-game show immediately following the Seahawks game today on Q13, the home of the Seahawks.
Kurt Menefee, Tim Ryan with you here at Seahawks Stadium. We're at halftime. The Seattle Seahawks lead the Arizona Cardinals by a score of 10-3. And in this first half, one of the expected matchups was the former Ohio State buddies, David Boston and his old roommate, Sean Springs.
Yeah, Sean Springs hosted David Boston on his recruiting trip to Ohio State University and became best of friends. They've worked out in the offseason over the last 2 years. And I'll tell you, if you're judging this big matchup here today, and it's the biggest one on the field, I think you got to give it to Sean Springs. You got a guy like David Boston who had 98 catches last year. In the first half here today, only 2 grabs for 11 yards. So far in this first half, Sean Springs, I think, getting the better of David Boston.
And Boston is a guy, though, who gets stronger as the game goes on. Makes a lot of his catches in the second half, and they'll need him to do just that if they're going to try and even up the score. Right now, they're only down by a touchdown. So as they go into the locker room, our Kevin McCabe had a chance to talk to the head coach of the Cardinals, Dave McGinnis.
All right, with Coach Dave McGinnis, you're down 10-3. Your offense has been inconsistent. Your defense has been on the field a lot. I know you're not happy.
Well, the offense has been very inconsistent. We need to get a touchdown in down there when we're down there, and then we've got some people open. We've got to hit them, and we've got to be able to move the ball. We're running the ball like we want to on them, but we've got to be able to move it down the field, and then we let them perpetuate that touchdown drive with 2 pass interference penalties. And so we've got to eliminate that. It's 10-3. We've got to come back. We get the ball first coming out. We've got to do something more with it than we've done the first half.
All right, guys, that says it all. Let's go back upstairs to Kurt and Tim.
Is that an indictment of Plummer?
Yeah, it is. Jake Plummer's only thrown for 48 yards. He's 5 of 15. He's got to play better. They have had guys open. He just hasn't gotten the ball there.
All right, we will get it to Los Angeles for an update on the other games that are going on this Sunday in the National Football League, and then come back to Seattle for our second half as we continue on Fox NFL Sunday.
Visa is proud to celebrate the fans this season. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
It happens every October. Sports' biggest month of the year takes flight. Fortunes are turning. Momentum is shifting. October's magical matchups. Only on Fox.
One bad parent, one bad player, 2 bad attitudes. The new Fox Wednesday. It's good. to be bad. It's Parenthood Uncensored.
I believe kids need someone to talk to.
The Bernie Mac Show.
You mind if I give them your number?
Cedric the Entertainer presents.
I'm a cup of coffee. I'm hot, black, and strong.
And Fastlane.
This is a life of crime. You don't drop cover, you never flash a badge.
It all starts at 8/7 Central on the new Fox Wednesday.
This is Jake Plummer of the Arizona Cardinals. Jake helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting educational outings.
Ostriches and giraffes are best
Jake
friends.
has a lot of pride in his team.
The best exhibit here. Did you know that the cardinal is one of the most feared birds in the animal kingdom?
Cardinals, what about eagles?
Cardinals eat eagles.
What about falcons?
They eat them too.
It doesn't look so tough.
Well, he just is. The little fella's got a big heart. Shh, okay, listen. Boom, 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 boom.
Let it go, Jake.
Boom, boom.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
As we welcome you to the Visa Halftime, Seattle fans glad to see Trent Dilfer back at the helm right now. Seahawks 10-3 on top of the Cardinals.
Let's take you down to New York. Look at these Giants. Kerry Collins looking for a win in St. Louis. Collins back to pass. Hits Jeremy Shockey looking out of Miami. Put a linebacker open. He cleared the linebacker. Safety couldn't get over in time. 28-yard touchdown reception. 10-0 Giants. Warner back. Picked off by Jason Sehorn after the ball had been deflected into the air. 31 touchdown return of that interception for a touchdown. 17-7. Giants awfully impressive in the first half over the Ryan.
Terrell Owens led the NFL with 16 TD catches last season. Has his first today. Vikings on top of the Bills. Scored 10-6 in that one. Culpepper, 2-yard touchdown. San Diego Chargers looking to go 2-0 for the second consecutive season.
Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre, back, guns, into the flat, Terry Glenn. Welcome back, Terry Glenn. Hit, fumbles, Keo Craver scoops it up 38 yards later, touchdown, 28-10, Saints over the Packers. Donald Driver takes it to the post, out to the corner of that side, stays up too flat. Favre's 291st career touchdown pass, passing the late, great Johnny Unitas. Fourth down on the all-time list. McAllister from 2 yards out. All Saints, 35-20 over the Pack. Congratulations, Brett. 291 touchdown passes, 79 more than I had, but also it took him 5,000 more attempts. I'm quite sure of that, JB. We'll look that up maybe this week. All right, down in Atlanta. Younger, second-year guy Michael Vick to Warwick Dunn. Excellent job letting the linebacker clear. Vision opened up. 10-yard score. 7-0 Falcons. Then Thomas up the middle. 3-yard touchdown. 7-all. Jim Miller back. David Terrell on the post route. Left of your screen. Inside. What? Set up. Gun it. Float it over the linebacker. Beautiful throw. Wonderful catch. 14-yarder. 14-10 Bears. And then with the score 14-13 Chicago. Jay Feely hooks this one wide left from 45 yards. Bears win by a point. Falcons lost in overtime last week to Green Bay in overtime on a field goal. Panthers 31-7 go 2-0 on the season. We go to Detroit next year to see Mr. Ford and drive our new trucks off.
Next week, Buccaneers didn't score an offensive touchdown in that victory.
Vinny Testaverde hit by Tabucky Jones. Don't forget that name. Fumbles the ball there. Vinny does. Jones scoops it up. 24-yard touchdown. 17-0 New England. 44-7. Patriots all over the Jets. I thought the Jets were supposed to be good. Play action by Miami quarterback Jay Feeler. 10-yard touchdown pass to Ricky Williams out of the backfield. Nice job. 21-3 Miami at this point. Then into the fourth quarter. Peyton Manning back. Brock Marion breaks up the pass to Quadri Ishmael. Dolphins win. 3 interceptions on the day for Peyton Manning. 21-13 your final. I got a mouth full of air, and I'm going to keep this baby going.
Now you're spitting, buddy.
Steve McNair. Ball bounces up in the air, Howard. Dexter Copley scoops it up. Take it. Look at him go. Just like Howie Long when they said, mill call, 52 yards later, touchdown 21-13. Cowboys are back, Ed Gorin. Cowboys are back. Now let's take it down Jacksonville. Fred Taylor out of the eye. Looks to the left, bounces back up the middle. Turn on that speed, youngin. Keep it going. Man, that reminds me of me when I was 12 years old. There's your final. Put it on the screen, somebody. I'm out of breath. 23-16.
And just in case somebody's asking who Ed Gorin is, he is
boss.
All right,
big dog.
Browns 20-7 over the Bengals. Dilfer, 14 of 18, 178 yards and a touchdown by Dilfer in the first half.
Mike Holmgren likes Trent Dilfer and thinks he's finally kind of figured out where his limitations are. He knows where to go with the ball. Smart and a guy who does what?
Wins. Thank you very much. I love that stadium up there. I love Seattle.
Oh, it's a nice stadium. You have a mouthful of what now?
Fit.
That's right. He said air earlier. Visa halftime continues after this.
Sports' biggest month of the year starts October 1st on Fox. When you're looking for local news that doesn't waste your time, turn to Q13 News at 10.
Greg Nichols is off and running on a new sidewalk plan.
News with a fresh approach. News that matters to you.
The FBI is sending out a nationwide alert tonight.
Balanced reporting you won't find anywhere else. In-your-face sports coverage that gets you into the minds of the players and coaches. And innovative weather forecasting that's as accurate as it gets. When local news is what you need, choose Q13 News at 10. Now, nobody beats the Toyota Advantage, especially Toyota Tacoma, the truck with all the advantages over Ranger, S10, and Dakota. Now get 1.9 financing for $500 customer cash back on Tacoma, or step up to the full-size V8 Tundra and get 1.9 with $750 cash back. But you gotta get the Advantage now. Get the feeling. See your nearest Toyota dealer before it all ends September 30th.
Napa Auto Parts is a proud sponsor of the Seahawks. Show your team pride by stopping by your participating Napa Auto Parts store for this limited edition full-size football, free with every $20 purchase. Napa, better people, better prices, better products.
Want it all. Want it all. Let's go.
Introducing McDonald's new grilled chicken flatbread sandwich. Warm flatbread and grilled chicken melted all together with pepper jack cheese.
Toasted flatbread, pepper jack, grilled chicken, lip smack.
You want it all? Come and get it.
So how's it going, Tony?
Good. I'm having a great time.
Well, why did you make the switch to news?
The 3 live hours gives you a chance to really do the community kind of stories. Weather, traffic, live reports from all over.
It's like being at a really cool party and learning all kinds of new stuff.
It is.
Great
We try and keep it, obviously, the fast pace and the music and everything.
I just think it's a great combination.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Seattle, Seahawks on top of Arizona 10-3 at halftime. Let's take a look at the halftime stats.
A couple of things to keep in mind here. 236 total yards for the Seattle Seahawks, 186 in the entire game last week in Oakland. So they've already gone over that just here in the first half. And I think when you look at Arizona, the fact that they've only passed for 42 yards is not good. Jake Plummer has to do a better job of finding his receivers, and when he gets it to them, they've got to come down with it.
Marte Jenkins to take the kickoff at the 5-yard line. Tries to leapfrog the pile, but ran smack dab into Tim Terry. During the halftime break, our Kevin McCabe caught up to the Seahawk coach, Mike Holmgren.
Check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I'm back here with Mike Holmgren. Mike, what'd you tell the guys? I mean, it seemed like you did everything you wanted to do, just didn't score that many points.
Yeah, we had chances down there. It was too bad we fumbled down in there close. But we're playing hard. We're playing pretty well. And if we can just stay after it, be a little more aggressive on special teams, I'll be happy with what happens at the end if they play that hard.
All right, guys, back upstairs to you.
And we found out Kevin has good math skills. 1st and 10 from the 21. Play action. That ball batted in the air. Broken up. That's Brandon Mitchell once again. Block 1 in the first half, coming out starting the second half the same way. Oh, in the first half at the beginning, it was the Arizona defense that stopped Seattle on a key 4th down. It kind of got the tempo going. Mike Holmgren wondering what is he going to have to do. Then his offense began to march and they turned the ball over. Once again, Arizona's defense coming up with a big play. But after that, Seattle finally got into the end zone with a touchdown pass to Tulamili, and that's the difference in a 10-3 ball game here in the 3rd as Thomas Jones gets the carry, spinning his way out for a pickup of 4 yards on the play.
Continue to watch the matchup in the second half between David Boston and Sean Springs. David only 2 catches for 11 yards in the first half. Remember last week in Washington against the Redskins, he didn't catch the football until midway through the second quarter, came back in the second half and had a huge second half. So David Boston will have to do that today, I think, if Arizona is going to win this football game. You see there, they've been matched up. All 4 times the ball's been thrown to him. He's only got the 1 reception when Sean Springs is covering him.
Right now, Arizona has to get it to the 31 to keep the drive going. Movement early as Leonard Davis popped up. Lamar King was coming at him. Let's see who they call it on.
Offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's the 2nd penalty today on Davis.
Wants to get that 370 pounds up and back as quick as he can. He's already in the up position, and there's Leonard there. He's just rocking back on those heels a little bit.
Now remember, this is only the 2nd game he's played at right tackle, so things a little bit different out there as opposed to right guard.
Yep. He was a left tackle in college and came over, played right guard here in Arizona last year, and with the injury to Anthony Clement, had to move out to right tackle.
3rd and 11. Plummer strong arms it. Boston makes the catch. Good enough for a 1st down. 14 yards on the reception.
Good throw here by Jake Plummer. This is the hardest throw in football, folks. You watch Boston here. He's just going to do an out to the 1st down sticks. Just cuts off there on Sean Springs. Got him turned around again, and good throw from Jake Plummer. Again, that's the hardest throw in football. Down on the field before the game, asking Trent Dilfer about it, and he said, without question, that deep out is the tough one to throw.
1st down at the 34. Jones. Thomas Jones dances around for a pickup of 4. Jones now with 14 carries, 69 yards on the ground, and his career high is 70 yards in a game, which he got against Dallas in his rookie year. So on the verge of this being his best game ever as a pro. On the verge maybe of getting 100 yards for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I think you did the last game. They got 100 yards, right? 28 games ago. 28 games ago, they haven't gotten a 100-yard rusher at all for anybody on this Arizona team. 2nd and 7. It's Jones again. Jones going to be stopped after 4 yards on the run. Mitchell on the tackle there. That gives him a new career high. Right now his team down by 7 points early on in this 3rd quarter. Bigger things to worry about.
Exactly, and there's a somewhat of a chess match going on with the coaches. Of course, Rich Olson, the O coordinator for Arizona, and Steve Sidwell, the D coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. These guys go way back to like 1978. They coached together at SMU.
Lead to 44. Jones gets there with a blocker in front of him. Thomas Jones breaks a big one. All the way into the end zone for the touchdown. 58 yards on the run, no flags.
Well, there's that 100-yard rusher. He's over the century mark, and oh my goodness, what a block by Dishman, the right guard here on Chad Brown, just to kick him out and put him on his back. Chad's here. Dishman's going to come from backside, kick Chad out, put him on his back. Boom! And you got Freddie Jones out in front leading the way. Good cut by Thomas. Freddie gets in Marcus Robertson's face, and then Thomas Jones just takes it the distance. Terrific block from David Boston there on Sean Springs. Best buddies, going to put him on his back.
The extra point from Gramatica goes through, and the Arizona Cardinals use a 58-yard touchdown run from Thomas Jones on their first possession of the 2nd half.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job.
Want to get away? Log on and purchase by September 26th for Southwest Airlines $39 to $99 internet specials, only at southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country.
Circle back to Cincinnati with those figures, you know. I'm worried about Ted.
Oh, no. It's off? Okay, I'll be right there. Guys, I gotta go.
We think we can achieve substantial market penetration on the Pacific Rim.
That's awful. Really sorry, but I have to go.
The new Boxster. It is perhaps the perfect getaway car.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Porsche. Discover what only Porsche brings to driving.
Oh, the big offensive line of the Arizona Cardinals coming through. There you see Leonard Davis, the right tackle, and Chris Dishman, that right guard, with a big block to Spring Jones for the 58-yard touchdown score to even this game at 10 apiece.
And there's Dishman right there.
That's why he's got a smile on his face.
Who just got the official pancake on Chad Brown.
Maurice Morris takes the kickoff at the 10. He's got a block. Why he tripped up. He tried to roll forward, but he was hit back 14 yards on the return.
Two really good blocks on the touchdown by Thomas Jones. First one's going to be here on the pullout by Chris Dishman. Chad Brown should come underneath this and try to blow it up, takes it head on and just gets blasted right to his back. And as the run progresses down the football field, you'll see David Boston, and he's right up here at the top of the screen, and he'll come running on Sean Springs. Bam! Puts him down. You got a guy like Sean Springs that runs a 4-1, 4-2. Probably going to catch Thomas Jones. A terrific block by David Boston.
Through the hands of Atula Mealy, incomplete. So the Seahawks trying to catch up to this Arizona Cardinals offense, which came out in their first possession of the second half and put it in the end zone thanks to the longest run of Thomas Jones's career, who now is career high 131 yards on the ground.
Thomas Jones is playing with confidence today. That's been the big key with him over the last 2 years. It's having to look over his shoulder all the time when they were going to put Michael Pittman in the game. And of course, Pittman gone to Tampa Bay. It's the Thomas Jones show, and he's given a show today.
And Sean Alexander with a short run picks up 2 yards on that one. And he's a guy who, doesn't have Ricky Waters to look over his shoulders this year. The exchange kind of happened last year with the injuries to Ricky, but this is the first time he's all by himself as the man.
He is the man, and he's a guy that can get into the end zone. 14 touchdowns for Sean Alexander, and you see there only 25 yards on 10 carries, 2.5 yards per carry. That is just not going to get it done in this league. College football, Pop Warner, it doesn't matter. You got to be up somewhere around 4 yards a carry. And Sean Alexander, again, 14 TDs last year, led the National Football League for running backs.
They've got to get it to the 45. Whistles early. Tony Corrente with the call.
False start. Offense, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Darrell Jackson called for the false start.
Now, to the credit of the Seattle Seahawks and Sean Alexander, I mean, they basically got two backup tackles out on the edges. They lose Chris McIntosh, who was a #1 pick that they were hoping big things out of. He's got an injured neck. He's on IR for the year. And, of course, Walter Jones, the Pro Bowler at left tackle, being replaced there by Pork Chop Womack.
With that big wrist.
Pork Chop there with the big wrist. But Walter Jones is in a contract dispute. They wish he was here.
Gopher on 3rd and long. Got it to Jackson. Good enough for the first down. Out to the 48-yard line. He picked up 16.
Super protection there for Trent Dilfer. Had all day to throw the football and let things develop. Only a 3-man rush coming for the Cardinals. And look at him. He's got all day to throw back there. Just waits for it to develop. Waits for his guy to get back into the deep part of the zone. And Darrell Jackson right there. He just turn around and go get the football.
So a first down for Seattle. Alexander goes in motion. Pump fake. Brought it down and now has the scramble. Mealy diving out but can't haul it in.
Great recognition by Trent Dilfer there. It was the pump and go to Darrell Jackson, and Darrell Jackson slips and falls down, and Trent's able to see that. A lot of other quarterbacks will just put that football up. You'll see him. He'll slip right there. That's where the pump was. Trent Dilfer wanted to let it go. He saw him slip up and held on to the football. Look, he wants to let it go. No, he fell down. Just going to break, contain, and do what I can. Real heads-up play there by Trent Dilfer.
Live another day.
Yep.
Don't turn the ball over. No interceptions on the play, and so they keep it. Second down from the 48. 3 wide receivers in. Dilfer out to Darrell Jackson. can't escape David Barrett, but we have to escape long enough to go to L.A. and JB.
Hey, Kurt, how tentative did that the upset in St. Louis possibility sound? Well, Marshall Faulk with a 44-yard run sets up this 1-yard Marshall Faulk TD run. 6 plays, 66 yards. Faulk's 8th straight regular season game with a TD. Close now, 17-14 Giants. Back to Kurt and Tim.
And that's becoming a replay of last season's game in St. Louis. The Giants had the lead throughout most of that game, really outplayed St. Louis, but the St. Louis Rams came back and won it in the 4th quarter. Well, David Barrett, who made the tackle on that last play, is yet to get up. We'll take a quick timeout here in Seattle.
Ultimate protection for your engine. Syntec by Castrol. It's the most important thing you can do for your car. Today's high-tech devices demand the advanced power of a high-tech battery. The new and improved Energizer E² with titanium technology. It's a longer-lasting, more powerful battery for even your most demanding high-tech devices. Energizer E². Do you have the bunny inside?
Fox takes you live inside the Great Pyramids. And when Egypt's oldest tomb is opened, you'll see it all. Pyramids Live at 8, 7 Central, Fox Monday.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
So David Barrett goes over to the sideline. Kobe Reinhart comes in to replace him on 3rd and 9. Dilfer goes right at Reinhart through the hands of Corin Robinson, though.
Got to catch that, Corin Robinson. And Trent Dilfer knew exactly where to go with the football and knew David Barrett was out of the football game. Press coverage, no jam whatsoever. Corin Robinson just on the skinny post down the middle and hits him right in the hands, and he drops it. Needed to grab that football with his hands and bring it in before Kobe Reinhart could come and make a good play. Give him some credit for knocking that football loose.
Jeff Fiegels on the punt. Arnold Jackson takes that one at the 10 and goes down. We mentioned he doesn't do fair catches. Said he hasn't had a fair catch since his freshman year in college at Louisville.
They say the best things in life are free. Well, right now, every new 2002 Ford comes with no payments till 2003. Every car, truck, and SUV with nothing to pay till next year. Plus, choose interest-free financing or cash back up to $3,500. Hurry, this offer absolutely ends September 30th. So get yourself free at your local Ford store today.
The heat is on when mozzarella, pepper jack, cheddar, and nacho cheese sauce form a taste to die for. Don't miss the new Cheese Extreme Quesadilla.
4 cheeses. 4. You gotta be insane.
You've been shopping for cellular.
Yeah, I don't know which way's up anymore.
I think I can help. You'll be fine now.
At Sprint stores, wireless becomes clear with helpful salespeople, the best selection of phones, and great deals. Right now, get 3,500 minutes for $34.99 a month and save up to $100 on select PCS phones. Sprint stores, wireless made clear.
Taste buds, 2 kinds. The little yes men sitting at the tip of your tongue sipping new age mango flavored tap water, and the boys in the back of the class getting all the glory. So for them, there's new Red Fusion from Dr. Pepper. Red Fusion, who's your soda?
Round, round, get around.
Will Kelso be Jessica Simpson's big kahuna?
What can 2 virgins do to kill an afternoon?
There is something, but it's kind of wet and dirty.
Sold! That 70s Show season premiere.
Having fun?
No, you're not nude! At 8, 7 Central, Fox Tuesday.
Well, America has spoken, and now you get what you ask for as Jimmy Johnson joins the Fox NFL Sunday crew for the rest of the season. making America's #1 pregame show even better. And next week, the boys take their show on the road to open up Detroit's brand new Ford Field. Fox NFL Sunday begins at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, right here on Fox. Thomas Jones with the carry. Jones picks up 2 yards, his 17th carry. He's got 133 yards on the ground, the biggest day of his NFL career.
That's why they drafted him at number 7 in the first round a few years ago out of Virginia, because he was a guy that could do this. Great vision once he got out in the open field, and has the speed to turn it on and go the distance. As you see, he outruns Ken Lucas there, who's a pretty fast corner for Seattle.
2nd and 8 at the 14. Jones alone in the backfield. David Boston. Pickup of 19 yards on the play.
Talked about the matchup between these two guys. Sean Springs not even close on this one, and David Boston just takes it on a little inside route. Good throw from the quarterback, Jake Plummer, and Sean Springs not even close. Missed his jam inside the 5 yards, and then David just cuts right off of it, and takes about 3 guys to pull him down. He's the size of a defensive end. It's David Boston.
And we mentioned he gets going in the second half usually, and so far he has, as Thomas Jones tries to keep it going.
It's got to be 5 times they've run that dive with the fake reverse off of it, trying to set up Lamar King on the backside chasing so that they can come back with that and then have to break only 1 tackle against that backside cornerback.
Well, this Arizona team coming out much better than they did last week. Last week, they allowed scores on the first 3 possessions by the Redskins, and were pretty much out of that. Today, much better.
Much better, and that's what they wanted to do. Going into Washington last week, they wanted to start the game with some good tempo. They did that. They went into the half up 13-10, and then, as you mentioned, came out and got scored on 3 times in a row, and then in the 4th quarter, had their opportunities, but just didn't make plays on offense.
Here comes the blitz. Marcel Ship runs through the hole, gets enough for the first down.
It's like Thomas Jones out of the game on the last play. He lost some equipment. You'll see him run out here. Cochran just reaches out and pulls his belt out. Look at him. He's got a hold of that belt.
I think he's got more than a belt.
Pulls the hip pad out. Yeah, you don't see that too often. You never see him pull the whole belt out, but you don't see a lot of guys wearing hip pads in this league either, and Thomas Jones has got them on.
I'm wondering what's the rating on this game now that we've shown that replay. First down at the 48. The ball intercepted by Isaiah Kazavinsky. Look at the Tasmanian Devil, as they call him, return it down to the 24-yard line, as Plummer hit him right in stride for the turnover.
Well, Plummer's trying to go to Frank Sanders here, who's matched up with Reggie Tongue, and Frank hasn't had a lot of footballs thrown his way today. There's Kaz at the left middle linebacker spot, and he'll just get back to his zone. Just slips out, boom, just picks it off right there, and Jake Plummer's going to come to try to get in on the tackle. And remember, now Jake can be blocked. Those quarterbacks, Dave McGinnis not real happy about it, but those quarterbacks, after an interception, a new rule change this year in the NFL, they are no longer fair game. If they just stand back there after an interception, you're not allowed to hit them, block them, or take them to the ground.
And Sean Alexander with absolutely nowhere to go on that run. He's going to be dropped for a 5-yard loss.
Some of the rule changes, and you'll see why they put it into place as Brunell gets rid of the football there. He's defenseless. Bam! Right on the head there. That caused a concussion for Mark Brunell, and then the same play with, of course, Jim Miller in Chicago when Hugh Douglas took him down to the turf after the interception.
Dilfer with time. Thrown high, and Darrell Jackson doesn't catch it. Jackson was open. That pass was high, but Jackson should have been able to hold that one in.
Yeah, you got to come down with that. Darrell Jackson, a guy that was a 3rd-round pick out here in Seattle a few years ago, and was I think the biggest surprise of the draft. Came in and basically led all rookie receivers. I think with 55 his rookie year, had 70 last year, and just puts that one down on the turf. Maybe peeking a little bit to run before he pulled it in.
Well, the Seahawks have to get it to the 14-yard line.
That knocked off.
Dilfer going up top, right there for Jackson. Good enough for the first down just inside the 10.
Well, he got Dwayne Starks on his heels big time. Just talking about Darrell Jackson, who just... One thing that Darrell Jackson does is the precision in his routes. That's what makes him so good here at the top of the screen, and you'll see him take off. He's going to take it past the sticks. He's got Starks on him. Watch him put the brakes on right there. Puts the brakes on and then cuts to the sideline, and Trent Dilfer throws a perfect dime for the first down.
Jackson, that class of 2000, among the wide receivers, he has been the best so far. First and goal. Sean Alexander. Kwame Lassiter wraps him up. Pick up only a yard.
Good play by Thomas Burke there. Getting up and forcing that thing wide by Sean Alexander.
Well, that class of 2000, they took Sean Alexander as the running back, and they took Darrell Jackson as a wide receiver. This is kind of the foundation for this offensive future.
It is. It really is. And you see the receivers that came out before him. Look at this. Darrell Jackson, the 126th pick in that draft, and over 1,800 yards, receiving better than every guy there drafted in front of him.
Second and goal from the 9. Alexander goes out wide to the right. Dilfer to Jackson, bobbles it, doesn't get it. Boy, he was fighting to try and hold that one in front of Dwayne Starks.
Pretty good pressure on Trent Dilfer. Had to get rid of that, but I tell you, Starks has been beaten a few times today. Doesn't want to happen here down in the red zone for 6. Good pressure there by Wakefield. Coming up inside. Oh, you got to catch that. Darrell Jackson has got to catch that football. Bring it in, started bobbling it, and then Starks was able to come up and get the hit and jar it loose.
Well, it brings up a third and goal from the 9-yard line. Seahawks with 4 wide receivers. Dilfer to the end zone. Broken up, intended for Corin Robinson, but David Barrett was right there.
And Wakefield again getting pretty good pressure on Jerry Wunsch over there from the left end position, and forced Trent to throw it a little bit quick, and actually just threw it behind Corin Robinson here. Has to get rid of it and just throws it behind Corin. 2 plays in a row. 2 plays in a row. Pretty good pressure up front by Wakefield, the left DN for Arizona.
And the Seahawks will settle for the 27-yard field goal attempt by Ryan Lindell. Snap. And that one's taken by Matt Hasselbeck, who of course is the backup quarterback as well, and he's not going to get close.
That's a huge stop for the Arizona Cardinals there in sudden change after the turnover to get him and hold him to what is possibly a field goal attempt, and then to get a break with the high snap.
And the Seahawks get no points on this drive. Bad hold by Hasselbeck turns into big trouble.
I love playing two-hand touch, eating way too much, watching my team win with the Twins. I love quarterbacks eating dirt, pom-poms and short skirts, fans who won't quit, and those Twins. And I love them too. Here's the football.
Need a better way to check out phones? At Best Buy, we've got the brands and plans you want, even the latest like Virgin Mobile and PCS Vision from Sprint. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
They say the best things in life are free. Well, right now, every new 2002 Ford comes with no payments till 2003. Every car, truck, and SUV with nothing to pay till next year. Plus, choose interest-free financing or cash back up to $3,500. Hurry, this offer absolutely ends September 30th. So get yourself free at your local Ford store today.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By Ford, no boundaries. By Best Buy, for the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. And by UPS, what can Brown do for you?
.502 left in the third quarter after the botched field goal attempt. Arizona takes over on the 8-yard line. Plummer from his end zone escapes the pressure and slides down right at the 11. Well, there are three elements, Tim, to a field goal: the snap, the hold, and the kick. We only got through two.
Yeah, and we said it was a high snap by Jean-Pierre Darche, but it wasn't. It's actually a perfect snap, just mishandled by Matt Hasselbeck. And then, of course, it's the hot call, and everybody takes off for the little flat routes, the guys that are eligible. Nobody's open down the field. He has to just try to run it in, and just terrific pursuit swarming to the football by Arizona. And then you get the old D coordinator and Dave McGinnis, who just loves that kind of stuff.
Thomas Jones. Jones falls forward for a pickup of 2.
And you can always tell those head coaches where their history is when the plays are made on the football field. I mean, if Dave McGinnis's pass is as an offensive coordinator, he's not as fired up or as jacked up on that play. But being a defensive guy, as long as he was in Chicago and then out in Arizona, very happy with that missed opportunity by the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, the Seahawk defense has a chance to make some noise here on 3rd and 4. Arizona has to get it to the 18 to keep the drive going. On the shotgun. Runner under pressure. Lamar King couldn't get it. Neither can Cochran. And finally, enough blue shirts get there, and he's brought down for the sack. Rocky Bernard and Willie Williams.
Well, he's looking out to his left. It's just terrific coverage, and Lamar King 2 times in a row on this drive will get good pressure. As you see the left side, nobody open. Freddie Jones not open. The little short flat route not open. Willie Williams coming on a corner blitz, and then you see Lamar missing it. Another miss there. That's what makes Jake so good. But it's the pursuit, the all-out pursuit by those defensive linemen that finally gets him down.
Got Blair punting from his own end zone. Gets it off. That's Bobby Ingram. Runs out of room. Brought down by Kobe Reinhardt. 43 on the punt, 4 yards on the return. It's all even at 10.
I don't own warehouses anymore. I've got Brown. With Brown managing my supply chain, my goods get from the dock to my customers in no time.
Brown helps me build a leaner, faster supply chain machine. Then tosses me the keys and says,
drive. I like to drive.
Inventory and transportation management. One company. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Wait until you hear this. This is so cool.
Stop. Wait a minute. Cool? Cool. Cool is why my son needs new sneakers every month. Cool is why my daughter's hair is green and her boyfriend has a bolt through his nose. Cool costs me money. Cool. You were saying?
This online purchasing system could save us millions.
Millions? Cool.
What do you see?
I see no excitement in your life.
And I see why. I see new KFC Honey Cajun Wings in your future. It's a magical blend of Cajun herbs, spices, and honey. Pump up the spice in your life. Join me, won't you?
Introducing new Honey Cajun Wings, glazed in spicy Cajun sauces. 8 for $2.99 or 20 for only $7.49. Or in Honey Barbecue Wings.
You know, if they keep the wings coming, we could live in here.
New Honey Cajun Wings and Honey Barbecue Wings from KFC.
There's fast food, and then there's KFC.
I'm a player in the National Football League,
but that is not who I am.
I'm a member of a community
dedicated to making a difference
in people's lives.
I'm a player in the National Football League.
Nice job done by that front four for Seattle, forcing the 3 and out after the missed field goal attempt.
Big stop. They're sitting in good position, obviously near the 50-yard line, and the defensive line really stepped up big on that series.
I guess Ryan Liddell would prefer we refer to it as a botched field goal attempt, since he really didn't kick it.
Blame it on Hasselbeck.
And it wasn't missed, exactly. Yep. Always on the holder. Dilfer under pressure. He's brought down. Rob Fredrickson just popped it.
Rob Fredrickson came unblocked. I don't know if there's a problem over on the side with Pork Chop Womack, but Pork Chop just does not get out and get to Rob Fredrickson here. Fredrickson right here coming from the outside backer spot. Pork Chop's got his guy there just unblocked. The Tulamili just whiffed on the block.
That's the first sack of the afternoon for Arizona.
Really confused. Didn't know if he was supposed to block or supposed to go out for the pass. And Rod Fredrickson, who's probably one of the better pass defending linebackers in this league, comes in and gets himself a QB sack.
Loss of 7 on the play. Quick pass. Darrell Jackson holds it in. Jackson with a 14-yard pickup.
I like that play. Anytime you can get your wide receiver to get right down the seam, right down the hash marks against those linebackers, it's always, in my opinion, a mismatch, and Trent gets it to him quick here.
As long as he holds on to it, we've seen him drop a couple of wide open passes today.
What did he say when Trent Dilfer now back in the lineup? He said the train has gotten started, baby.
Well, it's rolling. He's got 7 catches for 123 yards receiving.
17.6 right there. Not too bad for an average.
Dilfer pulls it down, now loses the football, but picks it back up in big trouble. Just gets rid of that football. No flag down on the play. Fred Wakefield is yet to get up for Arizona. Now we get a flag. You were wondering about intentional grounding on this.
Well, it's all if indeed he got outside of the tackle box or not. And of course, that pocket has been closed down about a man now in terms of the tackles. It's a shorter pocket in terms of being in the box that it used to be from side to side and width.
Hands to the face, defense, number 36. This will be a 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's called on David Barrett. You're right. Instead of this being a 4th down, they've got an automatic first down.
Yeah, that hurts.
Second big penalty on the day against Barrett.
Well, here's Barrett matched up with Corin Robinson here, and he's beat there. We're coming back late. Where is it? Hey, that's a chintzy call. That's got to be the wrong number. I don't see any penalty there on David Barrett. Let's take a look at the penetration on the pass rush, and pretty good push up there inside. Dilfer loses the football there. Burke manages to keep contained, and then Trent gets rid of it. Yeah, he had left the tackle box, so he's able to just throw that football away.
So Barrett takes the penalty. Fred Wakefield did walk off the field under his own power. Dennis Johnson comes in to replace him, number 96.
And remember earlier in the first half, the best pass rush for Arizona, Kyle Vandenbosch, number 93, left with his shoe off into the locker room. He's back on the football field for Arizona in the second half here.
First down after the penalty. Sean Alexander. Pick up a 4 on the run. Alexander really hasn't gotten himself going since on the first carry of the ball game. He had 12 yards on that carry, and since then it's been nothing going for Alexander. Right now he's got 12 carries for 20 yards, so that means the last 11 he's gained 8.
Well, they'll continue to force feed him the football. Mike Holmgren said they wouldn't. He's the kind of back that I think needs 20 to 25 carries. And we remember that game last year against Oakland where he ran for 266 yards, so he's quite capable of picking up big yards in a hurry.
Quick pass from Dilfer out to Robinson. Corin Robinson gets it down to the 27. Good for a first down as he beat David Barrett on that one.
Well-designed play here for the Seattle Seahawks. Darrell Jackson just runs Starks out of the play, and then you have Corin Robinson just with the quick slant. David Barrett not able to get there quick enough, but I think the key on the play was Darrell Jackson running his guy Starks off deep to open up that spot for Corin Robinson on the slant.
Final minute of the third quarter. Alexander on first down, looking for running room. Wrapped up by Barrett. Lost his shoe in the process. Talk about giving it all at the office. He got poked in the eye earlier and loses his shoe on this play.
Back to Darrell Jackson for a second. He talked about his precision in route running, and he does it when he's away from the football as well. A lot like basketball, when you always hear guys say, hey, let's move away from the football to create some things. Darrell Jackson is able to do that on the football field and really sells it and helps get his other receivers open.
This will be the final play of the third quarter. Maurice Morris runs it out to the 15-yard line, right at the first down marker. And so the Seahawks try and keep this drive going. All even at 10 after 3 quarters here in Seattle.
Sports' biggest month of the year starts October 1st on Fox.
You've been shopping for cellular.
Yeah, I don't know which way's up anymore.
I think I can help. You'll be fine now.
At Sprint stores, wireless becomes clear with helpful salespeople, the best selection of phones, and great deals. Right now, get 3,500 minutes for $34.99 a month and save up to $100 on select PCS phones. Sprint stores, wireless made clear.
At Les Schwab, we're on the move, so you can be on the go. If you need tires, we're ready. It's sale time now at the Les Schwab shop.
They say the best things in life are free. Well, right now, every new 2002 Ford comes with no payments till 2003. Every car, truck, and SUV with nothing to pay till next year. Plus, choose interest-free financing or cash back up to $3,500. Hurry, this offer absolutely ends September 30th. So get yourself free. Visit your Northwest Ford stores today.
The Seahawks post-game show immediately following the Seahawks game today on Q13.
In week 1, 8 of the 16 NFL games were decided in the last minute or overtime. We begin week 2 here in Seattle, all even as we start the 4th quarter. Arizona and the Seahawks knotted at 10. Could we be headed for another fantastic finish?
Well, that's the beauty about this league. I think the parity, and it's as fluid as ever. Each and every year, a new team can step up and get themselves into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. It's pretty neat.
Seahawks on first down from the 15. Dilfer. That's the running back. Sean Alexander slips a tackle, gets it inside the 10. Finally brought down right at the 7-yard line as the Seahawks trying to take the lead in this ball game, a game that has really been strong defensively for both these squads.
Yeah, it has. It really has. I think when you look at Seattle, what they've done good defensively is the passing game. They've done a good job of that, especially in the first half. Now, one of the glaring statistics is how much they've given up in the run game. Last week against Oakland, they were giving up, what, 8.5 a carry to Charlie Gardner. You look here at Thomas Jones, he's well over 7 yards a carry in this football game.
Alexander hit, bounces it back though. One man to beat, fighting against Dwayne Starks, and Starks brings him down for the tackle, preventing the touchdown.
Well, I give a lot of credit there to Dwayne Starks. He is not the biggest guy out there at corner, and he's only 172 pounds. He's got Sean Alexander here. Sean will kick it out right there. Stopped inside. Now you got a little guy against a guy that goes about 220, and Dwayne Starks able to wrap him up and get him down. Saving the touchdown. Big time play there for Starks.
Stop the touchdown, but the Seahawks get the first down. It is 1st and goal from the 3-yard line.
Still gave his defense a chance.
Alexander goes in motion. Dilfer to the end zone. Dropped. Jeremy Stevens. Kwame Lassiter was there with him, not allowing him to haul it in.
He's so big that you got to throw it to him. I mean, the guy goes 6'6", 6'7", 265 pounds, and Trent Dilfer doing a good job of pumping, then fires it in. Perfect strike. Just was able to get one hand up there. The key is, yeah, Dilfer's not happy, but the key was Lassiter was able to pull the left arm down of Jeremy Stevens. He only got one arm up to catch that football.
3 tight ends in on 2nd down. Alexander bottled up. Well, we've seen this Arizona defense stop the Seahawks on a 4th down earlier in the game. Now it's 3rd down, but once again, they can't get anything going inside the 5.
No, they can't, and they've tried these inside running plays, and I don't like them. I think when you look at Arizona defensively, where they're really stout is on the inside. They got guys that are 340, 330. You're not going to get a lot of movement. Even though Seattle's tough with their center and guards with Hutch and Gray and Tobeck, you're not going to move those big guys inside.
3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. They fake the handoff. Little toss. Stevens lost his balance and couldn't get out there to get it.
Yep, he was stumbling the whole way. Trent had him. Actually put a good pass up, but just as he made his break, did Jeremy Stevens, he started to stumble on the turf in the end zone, and Seattle's going to have to settle for another field goal here. He was wide open, front side tight end, trying to cover him with the defensive end. You better forget about it. Trent saw the mismatch right there, but Stevens is already stumbling. He's stumbling there. He can't go out and get that football.
And so the field goal attempt from 19 yards away. Remember, Hasselbeck had trouble putting it down before. Got that one down cleanly. And Ryan Lindell gets it through. The Seahawks can't punch it in on 1st and goal from the 3, but they get the 3.
I'm a huge fan. Thank you. I'm on a date with this honey, Erica. Right. Man, you could hook me up if you came by the table and said hi.
See what I can do, man.
Yo, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, old dog, what's going on?
Buster, can't you see I'm busy? Keeps calling me. Want to rap on my record.
If you got disrespected, I don't think I got dissed at all. Why you say that?
Did y'all meet Erica yet?
From last night?
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new H2 Hummer, like nothing else. By Miller Lite, life is best told at a place called Miller Time. By Dockers, go khaki with Stain Defender. And by DirecTV, movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment.
Mike Holmgren's Seattle Seahawks have been in the red zone 4 times today, but only 1 touchdown to account for it. The last time they had to settle for a field goal after a 1st and goal from the 3. But it gives them a lead at 13-10. Lindell with the kickoff. Marte Jenkins from the 5. Racine. Jenkins with the kicker, Lindell to beat, and he does. Marte Jenkins takes this one all the way back 95 yards for the score.
What great blocking from Marte Jenkins. Had to make one guy miss and then just outrun Ryan Lindell, the kicker. Able to get his team on the board with a big special team. Let me tell you something. You score on a big kickoff return, chances are you're going to win the football game. There's Jenkins. There's the wedge. Good block by Ship, then just kicks it up, and now he's just got to outrun Ryan Lindell, and he's going to do that every time. Marte Jenkins a couple of years ago had a 27-yard average on kickoff returns. That was the highest in 25 years of Arizona Cardinal football. Somewhat of a down year last year. Steps it up big time here, and it's a big touchdown for his special teams unit.
First kickoff return for a score in his career. Bill Gramatica with the extra point. And so the defense holds Seattle to a field goal. The special teams unit comes out and thanks them with the touchdown.
So that's your DirecTV system, and you're signed up with NFL Sunday tickets.
So I'll get my Bears games.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Julie, you grew up in Green Bay. You married a guy, not a football team.
We get the Packers, too, right?
Yeah.
You're number 1, Brett.
Packers? Who's Brett?
Dan. I'm Dan.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 14 regular season games every Sunday, and it's not on cable. Now get our best programming package free for 4 months.
Introducing 3 grilled favorites on one sizzling skillet. Fajita chicken, shrimp, and barbecued ribs. Chili's new Fajita Trio.
Introducing Dockers, flat front mobile pant.
Nice pants.
The original R&B. Oh, we made us move our feet. Tito Puente. Like Dr. Pepper Fuente. With the taste of originality. Salutes individuality. And gives life a personality. Be you. Do what you do. Be you. Dr. Pepper.
The critics have spoken.
Ready for this? Yeah.
Fastlane is high-octane entertainment.
You got my attention.
The cool factor is off the charts. From the director of Charlie's Angels, Fastlane.
That was off the hook.
The series premiere at 9/8 Central Wednesday on Fox.
Marte Jenkins with the 95-yard kickoff return for the score puts Arizona out in front 17-13. And here's a guy they've been looking for big things from as a wide receiver, making it come through on special teams today as Go Grammatica kicks it off. Maurice Morris, who returned 166 yards last week, not going to get a chance this time as he is wrapped up by a couple of Cardinals right there at the 20-yard line.
Arizona's playing some inspired football here in the second half. Here's the big key for Marcel Shipp is the key block right here on this kickoff return. You'll see him leak out from the wedge and go to the next level and grab Orlando Huff right there. Pick up the key block, take him on the ground and spring it for Marte Jenkins. Also came back and just made the big play on the kickoff team. As we see there on the tackle. Boom. Backup running back that wants to play a little football.
Well, the way Thomas Jones is playing today, he may not get many chances to run it. Darrell Jackson, pickup of 19. Well, the scoring has really picked up here later on. We started out with a couple of field goals, and then the touchdowns in the second quarter, including the big 58-yard run by Thomas Jones, evened it up at 10. And here in the third quarter, the back-to-back scores on the field goal and the kick return.
And that's big right there, the 58-yard run for Thomas Jones. And like we said at the open, it's been 28 games since Arizona's had a 100-yard rusher. Definitely got it here today at Seahawks Stadium.
That's Sean Alexander being brought down by Marcus Bell after a short pickup of 2 yards.
They seem to be picking on Dwayne Starks out there today. He's the $23 million man brought down from Baltimore, the most expensive guy back in that secondary for Arizona. And they've thrown quite a few balls his way and completed almost all of them.
Second and 8. Robinson in motion. Big pass out to him. Tries to make a couple of moves, but David Barrett is right there to bring him down along with Adrian Wilson.
Well played by both of those guys, Wilson and Barrett in the secondary. That's what you do with a guy like Corin Robinson. What he does best is his ability to run after the catch. So you get him out there on the quick hitch. So we see there just one stop back and then make somebody miss and get out there, but they got him bracketed by 2 different guys, able to get him down for the minimal gain.
Third down. Seattle needs to get right to the midfield stripe for the first. Dilfer going for that and more, and through the hands of Robinson. There's Dwayne Starks. You say they like to pick on him, but Starks won that battle.
Not a good throw there by Trent Dilfer. Let that one sail a little high and behind the receiver. Take a look at Trent dropping back. Now the key with him throwing with accuracy is keeping that left knee bent when he throws it. Actually looks all right there. Knows right when he let it go, though, that he threw it behind his receiver.
Jeff Fiegel's on the punt. Arnold Jackson watches that one go out of bounds. They will spot it right at the 10-yard line. 46 yards on the punt by Fiegels.
design our cars, we don't see sheet metal. We see the people who may one day drive them. Introducing the redesigned L, the View, and the all-new Ion. It's different in a Saturn.
Bullseye wins it.
That's what I'm talking about! Sweet nectar of life! Boo! Yeah!
Just tasted new Sam Adams Light, the first great tasting light beer. Shockingly great taste.
Yeah!
Someone's developed a micro device created to be the perfect killer. Injectable. One touch of a button, you can give a head a state of heart attack.
It will take 2 extreme agents to stop it. Antonio Banderas, Agent X.
That's how I deal with stress.
Lucy Liu, Agent Sever.
My turn.
Ballistic, X versus Sever. Rated R. Starts this Friday.
Sports' biggest month of the year starts October 1st, only on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn, makers of The View, the redesigned L Series, and coming this fall, the all-new Ion.
Well, this crowd trying to get the defense into it as the Seahawks trail Arizona by 4 points here in the fourth quarter in the first ever regular season game at Seahawks Stadium.
Better hunker down defensively and learn how to shut down that run here in the fourth quarter. Not going to have a lot of time to get that offense on the field.
First down from the 10-yard line. Thomas Jones. Nothing doing. We go down to Los Angeles and JB for an NFL update.
Hey, Kurt, don't ever count out the Rams. Take a look. Marshall Faulk capping a 6-play, 69-yard drive with that 8-yard TD run. It is now a 23-21 ball game. Giants on top, 8:19 left in regulation. Back to Kurt and 10.
As Yogi Berra would say, deja vu all over again, just like last year. 2nd and 9. Plummer. Quick pass out to Boston. David Boston going to pick up 4 yards and nothing else as he's brought down almost immediately by Sean Springs.
And you talk about the Rams, and both of these teams out here today, both Seattle and Arizona, of course, with the realignment in the NFC West. And I think Arizona gets hurt more than anybody in this whole deal. I mean, they were in the NFC East. Yes, they had some long flights to the East Coast, but the NFC East isn't, to me, in the cycle in terms of the teams that the NFC West is. They're farther ahead. You got the Rams, you got the 49ers, and of course the Seattle Seahawks here.
Big third down for Arizona. They need the 20-yard line. Quick pass out to Thomas Jones. Jones gets across the first down stripe for a gain of 7.
Good read from Jake Plummer there. Kazavinsky came on the blitz. Knew Thomas Jones was going to have some time with Marcus Robertson late getting in on the coverage. Here's Robinson here. Obviously, there's Thomas Jones coming out. Kazavinsky comes on the blitz. Thomas Jones able to come down with it for the first down.
Jones 2 catches now for 18 yards to go with his 20 carries and 142. So 160 yards total offense. Well, I think that was a busted play, folks. But Jones makes something out of it. He picks up 5 yards. Marcus Bell finally stopped it. Nice job by Jones. Well, next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning, of course, with America's #1 pregame show, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy Johnson in his return, as we have the Saints and Bears going, and then the Seahawks and the Giants, or the Redskins and the 49ers. It all begins next week at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox.
Pretty surprised that the Saints slapped it to Green Bay today.
Jones with a handoff. Another first down as he gets it out to the 33-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the run.
It's amazing how well this play has worked for the Arizona Cardinals today. Basically, it's just a dive with some reverse action coming around the backside, but you got Thomas Jones as the single back in the backfield, and Jake will just turn and hand it to him. He gets up in the crease and running strong today. Johnny Rowland.
Yeah, 22 carries, 153 yards for Jones. As he goes out, Marcel Shipp comes in on first down. The end around, Marte Jenkins. Jenkins going to be out near that first down marker. Chad Brown with the tackle.
I told you they were setting up Lamar King with that play, and it's the same play they just ran with the dive with the reverse action. This time they fake the dive and then give it to Marte Jenkins coming around the outside. And 171 all-purpose yards today for Thomas Jones. That's his best game as a pro.
Well, we mentioned his career high as far as running the ball was 70 yards, and that was his rookie year. He's got 153 today, so more than double that.
And you add what Jake Plummer's been able to do today is 200 yards rushing for the Cardinals.
That's Marcel Shipp adding more to it. A couple of nifty moves all the way down to the 41-yard line of Seattle. Give him 17 more. Well, this is 2 weeks in a row we've seen the Seahawks defense give up 200 yards on the ground.
Yeah, they're getting pushed around right now up front, and Kazavinsky comes up and does a decent fill, and you'll see Kaz, he'll be here, the backside linebacker spot, and he'll come and get the fill right there and just miss the tackle. Falls off of Marcel Shipp, and Shipp able to pick it up. Yep. Got to keep those legs running. You never lay out when you're trying to make a tackle on the line of scrimmage. You got to run those legs up and through. He left his feet and just fell off with the arm tackle.
Well, there's an injury down on the field right now as L.J. Shelton, the left tackle for Arizona, has yet to get up. They're taking a look at his ankle as they try and pull the big fellow up, get him taken care of.
What makes bodies in motion remain in motion? What makes what goes up stay up? And what makes what goes down get back up? Whatever it is, it ain't physics.
America trusts America Online to make everything easy.
It's just real simple to keep in touch with AOL.
Oh, I love hearing you've got mail.
Instant messages are so much fun.
And now AOL makes it easier to get health information with WebMD.
I discovered WebMD.
WebMD is America's leading source of health information online. Communities on everything from diabetes to weight loss.
Love the chat room.
A site that I trust.
AOL has got it all.
Now's the perfect time to experience America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE.
When we design our cars, we don't see sheet metal. We see the people who may one day drive them. Introducing the redesigned L, the View, and the all-new Ion. It's different in a Saturn.
It's Matt Damon and Lucy Lawless versus the Mac Man.
He bought a warrior princess.
Hi.
Oh.
Who will win?
This is gonna be ugly, America.
Bernie Mac season premiere at its new time, 8/7 Central. Followed by the premiere of Cedric the Entertainer Presents on the new Fox Wednesday.
Here's the injury here on L.J. Shelton, and you'll see Kazavinsky. He'll come from the backside as he falls off. He'll roll up the knee right there. Right there, you see the knee of L.J. Shelton get taken out. And in all fairness to Kazavinsky, trying to fill that hole, Marcus Bell, number 55, did not do a good job taking on that isolation block.
Marcel Shipp with the short carry, Kazavinsky on the tackle there. And of course, Shelton spent part of his childhood here in Seattle. His father, Lonnie Shelton, was an all-star with the Seattle Supersonics on that championship team in 1978, and also an all-star a couple of times, as Shelton has that right ankle looked at.
335 pounds, of course, part of that average. These guys up for Arizona up front average 323 pounds, I believe the third largest.
That's what's scary. Dallas and Philadelphia are even bigger.
Yep.
So he goes out. John Fina comes in to replace him. Plummer to the air. Freddie Jones. That's the tight end's first catch of the day.
They'll need to get him more involved if they're going to have a good year. Freddie Jones at the tight end spot. He comes over. Here he is here lining up at the tight end. He comes over from San Diego. A little bit of a free release, a little hesitation, and he'll just drag the front part of the zone. And Kazavinsky a little bit late getting there. And Freddie Jones able to pick up the first down. Talking to Rich Olson, the offensive coordinator, he said they would like to get Freddie Jones the football at least 5 times every game.
There you see, surprisingly, somewhat, top 4 in the last 5 seasons among all tight ends for reception. Not a guy you hear his name mentioned a lot.
And the offense translates well for him. The same offense they ran under North Turner in San Diego.
Thomas Jones with another big run. Give him 15 on that carry. Reggie Taunton finally stopped him. But Jones is having a career day, not just for him, but all time.
Well, Lamar King just gets absolutely swallowed up here by Leonard Davis. You see him there on the ground, and Thomas Jones shakes off Chad Brown. Look, a couple quick moves. Look at the body lean. Look at the body lean. Always running forward, and it was the block by big Leonard Davis over on the left defensive end, Lamar King. You see here, he just puts him right on the ground. Lamar King is underneath 370 pounds of Leonard Davis there, and is able to give a big hole for Thomas Jones, who's on just having a career day today.
Well, Seattle will call the timeout.
Lamar King is not happy. You see Lamar right there. He knows he just got blown up pretty good by Leonard Davis, and it's demoralizing, folks, as a defensive lineman when you get down on the ground, you know they're going to run the football, and they're still able to just put it right down your throat. You hate that as a defensive lineman. You see big Leonard Davis here. This guy's got the biggest hands I think I've ever seen in my life.
Now, this offensive line has really done its job today. We see that Thomas Jones is 168 yards rushing. The all-time record for Arizona, 214, set by LaShawn Johnson back in 1996. And so Thomas Jones, as they try and run out the clock here in 4:47, will get a shot at it. You know, he's still 50-plus yards away, or nearly 50 yards, 47 to be exact.
Now the difference in this game, despite all the yards for Thomas Jones, is that big kickoff return for touchdown.
And he gets another run through the hole. This offensive line continues to push well.
One thing Dave McGinnis said also coming into the game is this offensive line, they feel that they're pretty good shape here. They've got the veteran depth. Of course, they bring in John Fina from Buffalo, who was released there. He's a guy that's got nine years as a starter in the league. You got Raleigh Roundtree, who comes over. He's a guy that brings some depth and some experience, and really feels that this offense has an opportunity to be pretty good this year.
And Thomas Jones just limped off, though, so that's not a good sign. It is now 2nd and 5 from the 7. Marcel Ship down inside the 5-yard line. Gain of 2 yards on the play.
Marcus Robertson just grabbing an ankle, waiting for the troops to come and get some help, able to get Ship down. Absolutely hammered again today. It was last week against Oakland, 221 on the ground, as we mentioned. Charlie Garner, 8.5 yards a carry last week for the Oakland Raiders, and it hasn't gotten any better for that front 7 today for the Seattle Seahawks that cannot stop the running game.
Look at the rush yards today. This drive began at the 10-yard line. It's 3rd and 2 on the Seattle 4. Bummer rolling to his right. To the end zone. Frank Sanders, touchdown Arizona. The first catch of the season for Sanders extends the lead, maybe out of reach for Seattle.
Yep. Well, we talked about the drive, and the balance on this drive was terrific. Frank Sanders will come out of the slot on this one. You'll see him right here in the slot, covered up by Willie Williams. Willie's not even close getting to him, and Jake just sprints out to his right and fires it to Frank Sanders on the run.
4 yards on the score. Caps off a 13-play, 90-yard drive.
And what did I say at the start of that drive, Kurt? They better figure out, that being the Seattle defense, how to shut down that running game, at least slow it down, or they're not going to have a lot of time left. You see here 3 minutes, and they're down by 11 points.
3:18 to go in regulation here in the first ever game, and the Seahawks are in trouble.
I'm a combat photographer. And you got to carry a weapon. If things get so bad that you have to put the camera down, then you got to be able to fight back. When you see a child sitting there all by themselves, you know, you're thinking, where's the parents? Do they even exist? But it's something emotional. It's something that's going to make American public stop and look at that photo and say, I understand. What can we do to make things better over there?
Oh, the Arizona Cardinals lead at 24-13. Jake Plummer with a touchdown pass, talking to the offensive coordinator, Rich Olson.
Terrific effort here in the second half by Jake Plummer. Really has sharpened it up. Very accurate in the first half. Only threw for, heck, not even 50 yards in the first half of this football game. And
well, he was 4 for 14 for 48.
Yep.
He's now 10 for 22 for just over 100. But his team has the lead by 11 as Morris takes the kickoff. Run down to the ground by Marte Jenkins, who had that kickoff return of his own and said, hey, I'm the only one that's going to run one back today. Well, don't forget that this October will be filled with spellbound days and mystical nights as sports' biggest month comes to Fox. Baseball's Division Series kicks off. Up to 125 hours of October's magical matchups. And there's thrilling NFL showdowns as well. No other network will broadcast more sports in a single month this year than Fox with our magical October. And of course, it begins October 1st. Sean Alexander gets it out to the 40-yard line. And keep in mind as we take a look here at the scoring drive for Arizona, the clock now down to 3 minutes for Seattle, so they go to the hurry-up offense. They've got 2 timeouts remaining.
Got to get the football to Bobby Ingram.
Alexander again. And he stopped right in the middle of the field, gets it up for the first down. Rob Fredrickson brought him down.
Bobby's a guy that can definitely make plays in the clutch. Last year, of his 29 catches, 20 of them were on third down, so he's a guy that comes through at crunch time.
Right over the middle of the field, and speaking of crunches, where Corn Robinson took a hard one from Adrian Wilson that time as Ronaldo Hill had him wrapped up and Wilson came in, popped him incomplete.
Yeah, good coverage there for Ronaldo Hill, and Corn Robinson, I think, as you said, felt Adrian Wilson coming. And Adrian Wilson, this guy is a guy that they really feel is an animal in terms of being a safety back there in the secondary. He plays the pass just about as good as anybody, and his ability to come up and lay a shot, Dave McGinnis really likes.
Remember, he's playing with that dislocated left shoulder as the whistle stopped the play.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's the left tackle, Floyd Womack, and making only his second NFL start. This is the kind of time when you see nerves come out with the young guys.
Yeah, and Mike Holmgren says he's going to be okay. He's a young guy, and obviously was an offensive tackle at LSU. Came in as a defensive tackle, but he's going to get better. He's going to be out there and play. He's under fire right now, and he's going to be a good long pro.
Dilfer on second and long. Almost picked off by Rob Fredrickson.
A great job of Fredrickson playing the eyes of the quarterback back in the zone. Corn Robinson got to that soft spot, the deep soft spot of the zone, which is going to be back here behind the linebackers. Of course, Fredrickson, he'll turn and look at the eyes of the quarterback, lay out and try to come up with that. Come on, Rob, you gotta catch that football.
Do you feel the fact that there is zero energy in the stadium right now?
None. You got people heading for the doors right now, leaving Seattle Seahawks Stadium.
On third down, they have to get it to the 42 of Arizona. Jeez. For Ingram, overthrown, incomplete. We throw it down to Los Angeles, and an update from JB.
Hey, Kurt, trailing by 5, the Rams were 4th and inches from their own 41. Go for it on 4th down. Marshall Faulk fumbles the ball. Michael Strahan recovers for the Giants. Giants looking to hold on for the victory in St. Louis. 2:44 left in regulation. Kurt and Tim.
And the St. Louis Rams on the verge of going 0-2 on the season, as are the Seattle Seahawks, unless they can come up with at least 11 points in the last 2:16. On 4th down,
let him up.
Dilfer gets away the second time as well, going deep. He's got Bobby Ingram, who makes the catch. Good enough for the first down.
I don't know.
There's a flag way back down here in the backfield.
Wouldn't be surprised if Trent is across the line of scrimmage here when he threw the football. We'll see.
Dilfer is arguing right now about where the marker is.
Illegal forward pass. Pass thrown from beyond the line of scrimmage. Offense number 4. This penalty includes a loss of down Therefore, change of possession goes to Arizona. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And he was really going at the line judge, Doug Toole.
Well, the line of scrimmage is going to be about right here at the 43, or about the 40. Right here. It's going to be the line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line. And boy, Kyle Vanden Bosch giving great effort. Trent takes off. Oh, yeah, well over it. He's here at the 44. Tried to argue, but easily a yard past the line of scrimmage.
Dilfer cannot believe it, but they will turn it over on downs, and so Arizona takes over. Well, not just yet. There is a replay challenge that the Seattle Seahawks are calling for, and they can't challenge this because it determines a first down.
That's right, and there's over 2 minutes left in the football game, so they're still allowed to challenge from down on the field. It doesn't go up to the replay booth. Hey, what the heck? Give it a shot. Maybe not.
You know, at worst, you lose the timeout. You don't have the ball, which you don't anyway, and 2:05 left. You got to do something to get it. So it's not a bad move by Mike Holmgren to just at least see maybe you can get the referee Tony Corrente to take another look at it and change his mind.
Let's take another look here, and here's going to be the line of scrimmage right here, right about the 43-yard line. Just keep that line there and see if Trent Dilfer crosses over it. His body was over it, but maybe his right leg is on the 43. I don't think there's any way that they bring this one back, though, and give the football back to the Seattle Seahawks. You see right there, he throws off the right foot. As he's releasing the football, he's over the line of scrimmage.
And keep in mind, must be indisputable evidence to overturn the call. They must see something that guarantees
where the ball
that he was over the line of scrimmage.
It's where the ball is when he gets rid of it. I think he's past the 43-yard line myself.
Well, I tell you what, there's nothing there to prove to you that he was not, and that's the bottom line. There's nothing you can look at and say absolutely he wasn't over, and so this call will most likely stay.
Yeah, indisputable is the key there, isn't it? And Trent wasn't real happy after he got called for the penalty there, and such a competitor is Trent Dilfer, knowing that if that's his mistake at the end of this football game, he'll take it home with him. Look, that guy right there, folks, is a quality person.
And here's a guy who has been through a lot of downs and ups in his career. He said they beat him down for 4 years in Tampa Bay, and it's taken him 4 years to bounce back, but he's a guy that everybody on the Seahawks team loves, looks up to, and admires, especially with so many young players.
No, his leadership skills, I think, are the best on this football team, and Mike Holmgren got tired of waiting for leaders to come into this team a few years ago, went out and got Marcus Robertson, got Trent Dilfer, got Levon Kirkland, got guys, John Randall. Of course, Kirkland's gone now, but all those guys are still here, and feels that Trent's a big part of that leadership role.
Obviously, this taking more than a minute and a half, and you know that if they are trying to determine the spot of the football, they can take longer to do just that. We'll get the call from the referee, Tony Corrente.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback had his entire body in the air beyond the line of scrimmage at the time of the pass. Therefore, it is a penalty for an illegal forward pass. It'll be Arizona's ball after a 5-yard penalty. Seattle will be charged with a timeout.
And for record-keeping purposes, the Seahawks lose a timeout, now down to just one. The clock will also stop, obviously, with a 2-minute warning, but Arizona looks in pretty good shape, up 24-13, 2:05 left to play, and the ball at the 38-yard line.
Boy, I wonder what Arizona's going to do here in the last 2 minutes. They've only run for well over 220 yards today on the ground.
Well, Trent Dilfer looking at a streak disappearing as well. Dilfer, of course, came into this one with 15 consecutive victories, and once again, unless they get the ball back twice now and are able to score, that streak will come to an end.
Yeah, and Trent Dilfer played good football today. I don't think there's any question about that. They didn't get the points that they needed. Of course, the big turnover down inside the 5-yard line in the first half by Maurice Morris was big, but
and they had to settle for a couple of field goal attempts after getting first and goal inside the 10, and once it was botched, they didn't even get the field goal. Marcel Shipp now in to run the football as he runs us down to the 2-minute warning. Arizona holding on to an 11-point lead. 2 minutes left to play in the first ever game here at Seahawks Stadium.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
We're the only brewer that actually tells the consumer exactly when our beer was made. What has always made Budweiser special is our commitment to quality and our dedication to freshness. You can see how fresh the Budweiser is by looking at the label, looking at the born on date. It's very, very important that that beer gets to you in its freshest form. A beer to be enjoyed with friends from start to finish.
Hey, America, I'm the new 99-cent BK value menu. You know, I got 11 items for just 99 cents.
Yeah, let him hit first.
No, I'm not going to get in his way. I know when to shut up. My father always told me, you should be seen and not heard. Who likes chili? Well, that wasn't good.
The all-new BK value menu speaks for itself. Now, get 11 items for 99 cents every day. And have it your way in more ways.
Hey, can I write a check for this?
I just need to see some ID.
Hold that thought.
Eunice, hi.
Come with me. Okay, so I was in a movie with an extra, Eunice, whose hairdresser, Wayne, attended Sunday school with Father O'Neill, who plays racquetball with Dr. Sanji, who recently removed the appendix of him who dumped you sophomore year.
Hi.
So you see, we're practically brothers.
Tired of looking for ID? Use the Visa Chair card to get you in, out, and on with life.
I forgot my ID again.
Trent Dilfer's consecutive win streak, the 4th longest since 1950, but it will end here today at 15, barring a miracle. Following McMahon, Montana, Stabler, and Dilfer. And the guy number 1 on that list you played for a bit.
How about that? Jim McMahon actually left a little before I got there, but that's all he did was win. That's all Trent Dilfer does, and he'll continue to do that here in Seattle.
Marcel Shipp.
Okay.
Short pickup.
Out of those 15 starts, 11 of them go all the way back to Baltimore. He won 11 in a row that year that they won the Super Bowl, and Brian Billick said, no, you won't be coming back as our quarterback. Don't understand that.
Well, here's a game summary as Seattle uses its final timeout, and the yards on the ground is all you need to see for Arizona. Yes, Seattle put them up through the air, but they could not stop Thomas Jones, who had a career-high 173 yards rushing, including a 58-yard touchdown run.
And neither team had balance on offense today. You look at Seattle, they were able to throw the football. Trent Dilfer, 24 of 40, 279 yards with a touchdown, no interceptions. And then on the other side of the ball, it's been running for the Arizona Cardinals. They've only thrown for Plummer's, 107 yards, 10 of 22 today, but Thomas Jones has been the story with his ability to get the big runs.
Well, you know, Jake Plummer said they feel like the homecoming team in the NFL. Last week they had to go face Steve Spurrier on the road, his first ever game. This is the opening day for this new stadium in Seattle, and they're brought out here, and he said they wanted to show people that they are not the equivalent of a homecoming opponent. You don't just invite them in there. And they needed to stand tall on the road in a big game, and today they did just that.
Came in with a chip on their shoulder. It started with Washington last week, and it all starts with this guy right here, Dave McGinnis, who's the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. He came in with a chip on his shoulder. His team played that way today.
There you see the upcoming games for the Arizona Cardinals. They get to stay home for the next couple of weeks against San Diego and the Giants, who were trying to hold on to that lead last we saw in St. Louis. 4th down. Scott Player, the punter, on to kick it to Bobby Ingram. It's a very short field to work with. They let the play clock run down just to give them a little extra room. They'll take the penalty.
What is up with that face mask? That is terrible.
It's styling, man. It's old school.
The Billy Kilmer special isn't working here in the new millennium. I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness.
That chin strap's a little tight there, isn't it? He's got the whole look going.
Oh, that is just terrible.
He's the punter. So he'll pooch this one up. That's a nice kick. Took a bounce right into the end zone, and it'll be for the touchback. And, you know, he had the defenders right there in front of him. They just couldn't get it the way the ball rolled.
Boy, that's my pet peeve, if ever, when a punter is trying to drop it inside the 10-yard line and they boot it into the end zone every time. I've got a formula for these guys. No matter where you are on the field, kick it like you're trying to place it, and you'll kick it about 55 yards. They boom it every time. I don't understand it.
Well, Seattle starts off the year 0-2. They've got the New York Giants on the road next week, and then Minnesota before their bye. And of course, this offense looking to put some points up on the board for a change. Last week, only 17 at Oakland. Today, only 13 against Arizona.
They got to figure out, Kurt, how to get that running game going with Sean Alexander. Didn't even average 2.5 yards a carry today. And if he can't do that, it'll be a long year for Trent Dilfer in that passing game.
Yeah, he had only 36 yards last week on 13 carries today. 17 carries, only 37 yards rushing. And, you know, you look at it, and right now, Walter Jones is sitting at home watching this team right now play without him at left tackle. And obviously, they haven't been able to get the running game going throughout these first 2 games without their Pro Bowl.
And they need Walter Jones. Not only is he a terrific pass blocker, but the guy can come off and mash people on the run. He's been to the Pro Bowl, and yeah, you're right. They're missing him in that run game.
Dilfer going up top for Ingram. Picked off. There's Dwayne Starks. He is falling out of bounds after making the catch. Now he'll argue that he fell on top of guys, but to no avail. Let's take another look.
Go up. He and Kwame Lassiter go up to get it.
Oh, he got both feet down.
I think he got both feet down.
He certainly did.
I think that's an interception.
And I tell you what, if Dave McGinnis wants to challenge this, I think he'll win.
They're going to have to review this from upstairs in the booth under 2 minutes, right?
That's true. You're right. It's under 2 minutes to go, only 46 seconds left on the clock, and they are not reviewing it. That's Alexander coming out of the backfield. Ronaldo Hill on the tackle.
Well, Starks isn't real happy about them not reviewing it. That's
right.
An interception that he had going into the record books.
That won't count.
That won't count.
They're probably not reviewing it because this game is 11 points with under a minute to go.
Probably a few incentive clauses for interceptions in his contract as well. So,
well, after having been beaten today and last week, you know he would like a pick,
yeah, with the
just to make himself feel better.
And with the contract that he's got, I don't think he needs those incentive clauses to kick in. He's making a lot of money in Arizona.
Dilfer spikes it to stop the clock with 11 seconds to go. Well, a couple of big days for both these teams. Darrell Jackson, 9 catches, 155 yards in the losing cause. You mentioned Jones and his 173 yards rushing. Dave McGinnis gets his team to the 500 mark at 1-1 after losing the opener on the road in Washington. They come to the state of Washington to knock off Seattle in week 2. Robinson steps out of bounds. There'll be time for one more play.
If Seattle doesn't figure out a couple of things as this year goes on, if they don't figure out how to stop the run, if they don't figure out how to run the football, this team will be lucky to win 4 games this year.
And Mike Holmgren will fall to 2 games under 500 here as the head coach of the Seahawks. 24 wins and 26 losses with a loss today. He was looking for his 100th career victory, and obviously this is not what he was expecting when he took the job here in Seattle 3 years ago.
And took the job as general manager as well. And I'm more and more convinced, I think, every week that a guy that tries to wear too many hats in this league just cannot get the wins that they need.
Dilfer complete to Jackson. Jackson gets out of bounds. That'll be the final play of the ball game as the Arizona Cardinals come in and win the first ever game here at Seahawks Stadium. 24-13 is the final. Back to wrap things up right after this.
When we design our cars, we don't see sheet metal. We see the people who may one day drive them. Introducing the redesigned L, the View, and the all-new Ion. It's different in a Saturn.
Danny sets me up on this blind date with this girl, Angela, and I'm thinking, she's a little shy.
She gets up and starts shaking it right in front of the table. So she says, take me to Vegas. What? We're having the time of our lives. It's kind of getting hot, kind of getting dirty. She's got this sexy tattoo with a knife piercing a heart.
Wait a minute. Angela?
Thank you. Yeah.
That's my sister.
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
That's not funny.
Gentlemen, we'd like to buy a song from you.
For our new ad campaign.
You know our stuff. I saw you at the Cal Palace in '77.
We need something uplifting.
Classic rock.
Why do you need a song?
Our customers hate us.
Our systems are a mess.
No one operator can access all the systems.
You have to repeat your account number over and over.
And you expect a song to fix that?
E-business integration from IBM. It's smarter than a song.
These people are getting answers to the most important questions they'll ever ask. Questions about their health. They're finding those answers in a single place. WebMD. 16 million people come to WebMD every month. They find vital information that used to be scattered in 100 locations, now all in one place. The place America comes for healthcare answers. A place called WebMD.
One of the biggest films ever just got bigger. The Lost World with new scenes added. 7, 6 Central tonight on Fox.
Here's the UPS leaderboard delivering today's leaders and career-high numbers for Dilfer, Thomas Jones of Arizona, and Darrell Jackson from the Seahawks. Enter the UPS Big Game Day leaderboard sweepstakes by logging on to foxsports.com. Our Dr. Pepper play of the day, well, it was the touchdown that made the difference. Martae Jenkins, right after Seattle had kicked a field goal to take the lead, he took the ensuing kickoff 95 yards for the score, gave Arizona the lead, and they never looked back as they hung on for the victory, and he gets our Dr. Pepper play of the game. For Tim Ryan and Kevin McCabe, I'm Kurt Menefee saying so long. Once again, our final, Arizona 24-13 over the Seahawks. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Then the Saints take on the Bears, while the Seahawks battle the Giants, plus the Redskins and 49ers. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. The NFL is online at www.nfl.com.
It happens every October. Sports' biggest month of the year takes flight. October's magical matchups, only on Fox.
Seahawks Stadium, I'm Brent Ringabaugh. We invite you to stick around for the Q13 Seahawks post-game show. A tough loss for the Seahawks as they lose 24-13 to the Arizona Cardinals. One of the reasons, Thomas Jones. Early in the third quarter with the Seahawks up 10-7. Here comes Jones busting off a 58-yarder, runs away from everybody, ties it at 10, and Arizona goes on to win it 24-13. We will have much more, including Dan Devone and Hugh Millen standing by in just a minute. We invite you to come back.
I could tell by the picture that I could build it, so why send away for the plans?
You got that right.
Right.
How do you keep this perfect temperature?
Oh, well, I got the barbecue from the backwoods, and I have it going underneath the tub and keeps it nice and bubbly and warm.
It is hot.
What's that? It'll settle down. What do you say we go grab a Henry's?
When you're drinking Henry's, everything's worth toasting.
Is that your leg?
Can you give me a little room, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh is going to college.
Well, Jane wasn't so sure until we did her free Key Solutions financial assessment.
We can, Josh, we're thinking maybe out of state.
We've got it all covered. Soon, Josh will be on his way. Jane's really excited.
4 years of peace and quiet, I guess. The solution is key.
Call today for your free financial assessment.
Let's do this.
Looking for some action on Friday night?
We're running.
Change course.
There's something you can't do. Time for some thrilling heroics.
From the critically acclaimed creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Firefly, the series premiere.
All right, that would be me.
Then, what if suddenly you knew everything?
What is the capital of Zimbabwe?
Harare. How many dimples in a golf ball? 336.
But the most important thing of all,
I don't remember who I am.
when you are your own greatest mystery,
I'm colorblind.
every clue
I can see her. Who colors?
could bring you closer to the truth.
You in charge of kidnapping? Who are you? The guy's gonna help you find her.
The secret is inside. John Doe, the series premiere. The new Fox Friday premiere September 20th.
Start your week with us here on the Q13 Morning News.
We'll show you what's up on the roads, what's happening with your forecast, and all the news from Western Washington to Washington, D.C. and beyond.
6 to 9 a.m.
Q13 Seahawks post-game show. Now, here's Dan Devone, Hugh Millen, and Brent Ringenbaugh.
All right, welcome to the Seahawks Stadium, where the Hawks fall in their home opener. Final score of 24-13 and dominated in the second half. Not a good start last week and not much better this week, Hugh. Yeah, and as we listen to the sound of the Who won't get fooled again, the Seahawks fooled, deceived, and outmanned today. They come into the game second to last in the NFL this season in rushing yards given up. Of course, they had 227 given up against the Raiders last week. Now, Thomas Jones, that Arizona fans have been talking about as a bust, a running back. He leads an Arizona rushing charge. It has 249 yards against the Seahawks, so clearly they've got problems inside on that defense. We'll talk more about that in just a bit, but let's give you the highlights and start things with a look at the new stadium. A sellout crowd in this $430 million building, and in the first quarter, it's Trent Dilfer. Dilfer play faking and looking good here, and this is something that Dilfer will bring. When he comes back, they stretch the defense and throw long to Darrell Jackson, 48 yards. He was 14 of 18 in that first half, 178 yards. It sets up Ryan Lindell. Lindell punches it through, 46 yards, and it's 3-0 Hawks that are on the board first, looking good. Now it's Jake Plummer, and this is what Plummer will do for you. The snake out of Arizona State University, and nobody containing on the outside would scramble 43 yards. That would set up a field goal to tie things up. Here is Thomas Jones, who is stacked up at the line of scrimmage as the Seahawks on that play able to keep him bottled up, the young man out of Virginia. Later, it's Dilfer going to Corn Robinson for 27 yards on a very impressive. Matter of fact, he will break down in just a bit. Their most impressive drive on the day, and it sets up Itula Mealy, who sneaks behind the defense for the touchdown. And at halftime, the score is 10-3 as the Seattle Seahawks were out in front of the Arizona Cardinals by a touchdown. 10-3 the score at the break. So after 2 quarters, Hugh, and especially coming off that impressive drive, as you see Dilfer's number 14 of 18 and 178 yards. Dilfer orchestrating that drive, they look good, and there has to be some encouragement, at least in the locker room at that point. Yeah, well, you see a veteran quarterback there. There was a third down play where Trent Dilfer is going to have a 3-man rush. Then they add a 4th blitzer there, where he knows that there is a 2-deep safety alignment. He knows that there's a vacated spot in the middle of that defense, that if he can just wait, get the protection, which he was able to get, that wide receiver is going to come in. That's a veteran move that he was able to pick up a key third down. You talk about a veteran quarterback, so the offense clearly responding with Dilfer back at the controls, at least for a half. Well, you know, the first half, he certainly shows the command, and you see a Mike Holmgren that is willing to give him more of the offense in terms of throwing on first down, getting into some multiple sets, allowing Trent Dilfer to audible in some key situations. So there's a confidence level there. But in the end, that inability to run the ball, and we see a Sean Alexander that in my mind just looks a little sluggish, not getting to the outside. They weren't able to get the running inside. They tried to get a lot of stretch and wide running plays, and really the Arizona defense able to run them down.
We'll take second half highlights now and pick things up with Arizona on the move and Thomas Jones, the man we have talked about in the running back. Well, last week it was Charlie Garner, and now it's Jones that just carved up the Seattle Seahawks. And the defensive line not getting it done. He would go 58 yards, and that touchdown lead at the break vanished. They're even at 10 apiece. But the defense comes out with a key play here. Isaiah Kazavinsky didn't play good or didn't play well a week ago. Here, a key interception, and Kaz sets up the Seahawks deep inside Arizona territory, but they're unable to capitalize. Matt Hasselbeck couldn't handle the snap. Little fire call here, and it results in nothing. A huge swing of events here because Arizona stopping Seattle after the turnover. And with the score still tied at 10 apiece, key play of the ball game here, Ortega Jenkins out of the University of Arizona, one-time quarterback, and he is popping one 95 yards. Gone. And Arizona is out in front 17-13 at this point. And then just for good measure, on a back-breaking drive, they cap it off with Plummer rolling to the right and hitting Frank Sanders, and that would do it. A final score of 24-13 as the Seattle Seahawks lose to the Arizona Cardinals and getting beaten there in that second half. As we talked about that key drive that we'll get to in just a bit, is Arizona able to thoroughly dominate the Seattle Seahawks defensively. But we want to start things on a good note, and as we talked about, at least for a half, and on that Hawks' first touchdown drive, they were doing things the right way with Dilfer.
Yeah, they had the long drive, and as we said, Trent Dilfer getting into a third down situation. As we see here, Corn Robinson is going to break in on what we call a cover 2 defense, where he's going to get into the middle of the field on the zone, and Trent Dilfer waiting, knowing that that middle of the field is open, taking advantage of a 4-man rush. And now here you see, watch Trent come back, put his back foot in the ground, and just throw a quick pass there to the tight end, making quick decisions. Then he comes back and makes an audible. As you see here, he recognizes man coverage. He's got single coverage. He's on the 13-yard line. These are tough yards to come by. So he audibles, recognizes the man-to-man, gets the ball into the hands of Daryl Jackson quickly. Daryl's able to pick up 10 yards and set up the touchdown there from the 3-yard line. So you saw a veteran quarterback making the right reads and getting the football team in the end zone.
As we saw, the Seattle Seahawks were able to get into the end zone, and as we talked about, with Trent Dilfer and using his receivers and the offensive line supplying some time, it looked as though they were off on the right foot. Want to talk about and switch things defensively, and a big showdown between two of the best, at least on paper, and that, of course, is the man, Mr. Boston, the wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals, and, of course, Sean Springs matched up, and they were pretty much mano-a-mano all day.
Yeah, and you saw a sign of respect from Seahawks coaches that they were going to take Sean Springs, normally the left cornerback on that defensive alignment. He was going to shadow David Boston virtually all day. I would say in the end, sure, David Boston had his points, and you're going to allow a great, say, offensive guard in basketball. He's going to get his points, and Boston had a few plays, but by and large, I say Sean Springs wins this battle. Jake Plummer, less than 100 yards throwing in the game, so certainly they were able to bottle up David Boston. I think Sean Springs is going to feel pretty good about that matchup. Give him a B on that, but satisfactory, if we're grading satisfactory, non-satisfactory, he won enough of those battles.
Well, as we saw, David Boston did not have to be the big factor, but it was the running game that really spelled the end of the Seattle Seahawks today. Well, they're 0-2 after losing 24-13. We want to go live now and pick up Mike Holmgren, who was addressing the press.
You lose a game every once in a while, you know, but how it was done, that surprised me a little bit. I think there were some positives. I think having Trent back clearly gives the offense a little boost. But you also saw some of our young people in there when they had chances to make plays. Crazy things happen, bad things happen, and this is not, you know, the scholarship is behind them, and now this is serious business. So they got to grow up in a hurry. Some of them, we're counting on them.
Why didn't you reconsider the decision on the second quarter to take the field goal off the board and take the penalty and continue on?
I'm trying to remember that decision.
Second quarter, you kicked the field goal, there was an offside penalty on Arizona, and then you decided to go for it. Turnover occurred.
Oh, the fumble. Well, yeah, well, obviously it It looks bad, you know, now, but I thought if he didn't fumble, we were in great shape. And I always think I thought it was important to get down there and score. I was approaching the game rather aggressively. You know, I went for it on 4th down on our first drive, and so I came in wanting to do those types of things. And so, yeah, shoot, the fact that he fumbled down there and we didn't get anything, that's a hard pill to swallow for both of us, Mo and me. But that's how I was going to play the game. I thought we needed more than a few points to win, and turns out I was right, but it didn't help that we fumbled down there, obviously.
On the field goal, was that a high snap?
I think Matt just said he dropped it. You know, I mean, I asked him what happened. He said, it's on me, I dropped it. And I will say this, he's probably, if you ask around, he's probably the best holder in football. People believe that. Kickers believe that. He's dealt with a number of kickers. You know, happens sometimes.
It happens when you break down in the red zone on plays like these. Is it simply a matter of focus, or does it speak to a youth issue, or is there another?
I think both, Les. I think both. I think one kind of one's kind of combined with the other. With the youth issue, at times, it is lack of focus. It is. Or you want to say they're overly excited, or they're inexperienced, or whatever you say about young people in that situation. We're going to give them opportunities to make plays, and you know, if all of a sudden you can make a couple mistakes like that and still win the game, it's a very valuable lesson. If you make mistakes like that and lose the game, it's just painful.
Did Jeremy not finish routes in the end zone, or did he not running the ball?
He stumbled on the one. I mean, he would have had an easy. I think it looked from the sideline like he had an easy touchdown. He kind of stumbled and lost his footing on one, and then he broke a pattern down in another one. But you know, he's a weapon down there, and we're going to continue trying to get him the football down there. And now he's got to hold up his end of the bargain, and he will. You know, he'll get better.
Was there a reason that Alexander didn't get off for a second straight week and just the same defense?
Yeah, I don't know how many yards he gained, but he and I don't know how much he got scraped. He was out for a while, and he got raked across the eyes and he couldn't see. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know that one. You know, I know this. You keep handing him the ball, he'll get his yards. I think Palapau had a concussion, and Brandon Mitchell, as I said earlier, injured his calf.
Coach, you talked about the importance of this game with the new stadium.
Yeah.
How does that matter in disappointment?
Well, I think I think there was a lot of things for the fan to take home with and say, you know, that's a great place to go to a football game. The crowd was really into it. I'm a Seahawk fan, and come heck or high water, you know, I'm going to be there to support the team, and I think I would like to hear a lot of that. You know, the fact that we didn't win the football game, yeah, I really wanted to win it badly for the fans. You know, because they turned out, they were noisy, and it was good, and that's the way it should be all the time. I mean, that's the way it should be all the time. So we just have to do our part now and start winning some games at home.
Well, it does not get much easier for the Seattle Seahawks, as now they're going to have to head to the road, as you hear from Coach Mike Holmgren, a very somber Coach Holmgren after the loss today. They head to the New York Giants and take on New York out on the Meadowlands, and the Giants pulling the surprise, I guess you could say, of week number 2 in beating the St. Louis Rams. So the Rams now, like the Seattle Seahawks in that new NFC Western Division, both teams at 0-2. But it's the Hawks on the road, September 22nd, a 1:15 kick, as they'll do it from New York. We just heard from the coach, Mike Holmgren. So many fires to put out on this team right now. It's not as if there's just one thing that's wrong with the squad right now, Hugh. I mean, it's defense, it's offense. It's just about everybody has a part in the loss today.
Well, as you said, a somber coach there. I mean, here's a guy that has made his reputation, makes his money, frankly, on offensive football. 5 of his last first-round draft picks, all offensive players, but yet you can't win football. You can't get your offense on the field if you're allowing this type of domination from your defensive line against an opposing team's rushing attack that really was struggling coming into the game.
As I mentioned, on the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Well, we're going to continue here in the Seahawks post-game show. We're going to hear from Brent, has interviews, and Hugh's not going anywhere. We'll continue. Your final score, 24-13. Arizona sends Seattle to 0-2 to begin the new campaign. Back with more right after this.
Jones trying to follow one of them, hit right at the 5-yard line. Isaiah Casimir.
Go on the field and inside the huddle with the Seahawks every Saturday on Q13. First at 5, it's the Mike Holmgren Show. Find out where the Seahawks are headed from the man who makes the moves. Then at 5:30, it's Seahawks Insider. Brian Davis recaps last week's game and gives you a preview of who the Seahawks have in their sights next. It's a double dose of Seahawks every Saturday. The Mike Holmgren Show at 5, Seahawks Insider at 5:30. Saturday on Q13, the home of the Seahawks.
Hey, I'm Trent Dilfer of the Seattle Seahawks. Believe me, there is nothing worse than getting hit with something you didn't see coming. And this time, I'm talking about prostate cancer. Prostate cancer can sneak up on you without any warning signs or symptoms. And the only way to catch it early is with a doctor screening. So get yours at your next yearly checkup. For more information, visit virginiamason.org or call 1-800-397-6044. It's time you knew what you were up against.
Western Washington, Buick courtesy cars are here. Driven by the pros during the NEC Invitational, they're available now with exceptional factory-to-dealer discounts. The Remarkable Rendezvous, Century, and LeSabre, ranked best in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. Plus, there's $3,000 cash back on these courtesy cars and every new 2002 Buick. Hurry, courtesy car supply limited. See your Western Washington Buick dealer.
You've been shopping for cellular.
Yeah, I don't know which way's up anymore.
I think I can help. You'll be fine now.
At Sprint stores, wireless becomes clear with helpful salespeople, the best selection of phones, and great deals. Right now, get 3,500 minutes for $34.99 a month and save up to $100 on select PCS phones. Sprint stores, wireless made clear.
Back here at Seahawks Stadium, the sellout crowd has gone home in disappointing fashion as they cracked the seal on this new $430 million stadium, only to see Mike Holmgren and his team, for lack of a better term, lay an egg as they lose 24-13. It was Thomas Jones, a young man out of the University of Virginia, and an offensive line that was really able to dominate the Seattle Seahawks, and really the story on today's loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Well, Darrell Jackson had a big day at the wide. Matter of fact, I think he set some career numbers, and he is standing by with Brent. Let's take that interview. Brent?
Thanks, Dan. Joining me now, Darrell Jackson, who had a career day in receptions and yardage. Obviously a tough one to lose this home opener for you guys.
Yeah, we came out far hard, but, once again, we made a couple of mistakes down in the red zone, and, we dropped a couple passes today. But, it can be like that sometimes, but, guys play hard, we fought, and, it just didn't go our way today.
Talk about your performance a little bit. As I mentioned, a career high in both receptions and yards, and going out there and making some things happen on offense.
That's what I'm paid to do. Go out here and just make catches and block and do whatever it is I'm supposed to do. Some games I get passes, some games I don't. And today was just a game I got a little bit more passes.
There was some talk about Trent Dilfer coming back, and maybe the timing wouldn't be there, but when he hooked up with you on the big play early on in the game, it showed that the timing was right there, and you guys really didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, timing was right. Once again, we just made a couple of mental mistakes, and we didn't catch the ball. And, we just beat ourselves today. But you got to give your hand out to the Arizona Cardinals. They play hard, and they made the play when they need to make the play. To seal up the victory.
You mentioned the red zone. What was it down in the red zone that you guys had problems with?
We didn't make the play when we were supposed to make the play, and that was period. We got down there a lot. We had a lot of opportunities, but in this league, when you get down in the red zone, field goals don't win. You got to get a touchdown, and we settled for too many field goals today.
What did you guys talk about in the locker room after the game? What was the talk in the locker room?
It'd be like this sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but as long as we give 100% effort, correct the mistakes, then we'll be back next week trying to get better and try to focus and try to get us a win.
Darrell Jackson, thank you very much. Darrell Jackson with the Seahawks. Big day for him in career receptions.